Good. Yeah.
Kind of cool. But we'll go out and play some Frisbee. King, you want to go play some Frisbee? Let's go do it. Let's go. Oh, wait. Let's do this officially. Let's do it officially. Boom. So King and I are going to go do some flat work. King, right? This here versus this. And you can see him shift. Come on. Right? You can see him shift each time. And that shift is, it might be the thing that is necessary for you to get your dog to flip. Yes, good man. Aus. Aus. Yes. Audio on what, Byron? Little Uncle Cliff action, sipping on my coffee. Reggie. I'll hack you through time, Tom Fury, just like a time machine. Polka! Oh my gosh, dude, that's amazing. MB, come on, go to dog stuff. Okay, Al, come on. Al. Chill. Hi, handsome. Oh, you got hosed. You got hosed. There are only 2. Didn't make it out. Hey. I might have had the audio down on one of them. Oh, fucking funny. Update, I can't reach it. Epic Zip. Zip. What? Oh my gosh. Cupcake, I can't reach it. Yeah. Whoa, look at it. Yeah? Zip. Getting angry? Yes. It's a good setup. Frisbee is about the stuff between the tricks, right? You have 36 tricks in a freestyle routine, maybe, if you're lucky. It's a lot of tricks, right? So 36, 32, 36, right? That's pretty packed freestyle routine. Each trick takes anywhere from half a second to 1.5 seconds, right? The actual trick, yeah? So what are you doing for the other minute 30, minute 45, right? All the stuff happens between the tricks. Go, go, go. Doing flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Up. Do it, Epi. Ouse. Do it. There. Yes. There's the eye. Through. Yes, ouse. Yes. Badass. You see it, huh? Did you see it? Go, go. Through and flip. Good. Ouse. Go, go, go. Ouse. Yes, ouse. Hey, it just occurred to me that a bunch of kids can't fucking read this. It's cursive. Yes, good. Epi, you're giving the secret code. Good. Ouse. Giving the secret code. Yes, ouse. Yeah, that's funny. I wonder. Yes. Can you read that, Sage Paw? Badass. Hey, what's going on? It is Tactics Tuesday. We're doing it. We're doing it. Sage Paw's lying. She can't read cursive. Telling you the, hey, what's going on here? I can't move my camera switcher. It's weird. Is it locked? Well, no. Sorry. Weird. I can close it. Yes. Ron Watson, Positive Vibe, host of DiscDog Weekly, Sifu at the Digital Dojo. I'm here with my co-host, Epi. He's a good man. He's a good co-host. All right. So it is Tactics Tuesday, and I'm going to present a little bit of the Kneffen framework. Let's see. Let's hold off a little bit, Sage Paw. Let's hold off a little bit. I'll probably break something when we do that. So same number. And yeah, let's hold off. I'll bring it in maybe on a video, and we'll hang out in the green room. Right? We'll hang out in the green room and see if I can navigate the green room. And then Epi, you're in my light, Epi. You don't even, hang on. Okay, there you go. Get up there. Up. Yes, easy, cheetah. We can hang out in the green room and do some green room things, see how things work in there. I haven't done any of this in a long time. I do have camera 3 going on. Camera 3 up there. Pretty cool. I'm excited about that. That is all right. King is out of the frame. Let's get King over there. Just where the green room is where you hang out when you are be off stage, like before the production. It's where they give you food and all the drinks and whatnot. It's actually pretty cool. It is pretty cool, I have to say. Anu, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, funny. I thought that was Sage Paw's question. Yeah, green room is, so Sage Paw is going to try and call in. We'll see how that works. But I want to go through a little bit of the Cynefin framework. I'll go through the basic map super quick, and then we're going to talk about the complex domain. We're going to get into actual strategy and tactics today, and talk about how we go about structuring, or how our actual play session works, right? I think people are a little misinformed or confused about that. So that's what we're going to do. You got a tire. Awesome. That's exciting, Anu. You need to paint it. Get a can of spray paint. Not joking. It's worth it to have it painted. The blue or the purple and the yellow. Epi, am I boring you? Am I boring you? The purple and the yellow tires look terrific. They look much better than black. And I would recommend getting because they look better, and then the black dust from the tire doesn't get all over. It's kind of nice as well. You know, I mean, the tires look great. If it were just a black tire, it would look like shit. It would look dumb. Right? Sweet, exciting, super cool. Be sure to catch last night's show. Oh, you were here last night. Some friggin' savage cupcake action. All right, so any questions? If you have any questions, I'll take them. Go ahead and throw them in chat. We'll get at them. I might be able to get at them while we're going through the strategy and tactics. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. Yeah, right? Boom. Shit is real. All right. So where am I going to go? Let me turn that off. Ba-boom. Oops. Turn that one off. And then here we go. I'm actually going to switch that. And I'm going to switch it to preview. So this here is the Cynefin framework, right? Let me shrink it a little bit, get it sized properly. All right. So this is a map. It is a map of domains, okay? It kind of looks like an axis, an XY axis. It is not. It does have some XY axis Cartesian map properties and principles, but it is not a map. These are domains. Down here, we have the clear domain. This is where our facts and concepts live. A fact is like a few concepts put together. A hand target would be a fact. A hand target is a behavior. Epi touching his nose, that right there, that is a concept. The actual nose target, when it's the dog's thing, nose target, foot target, ass hitting the ground target, body target, any of those. When it is the dogs, it is a concept. It's inside the dog, right? When it deals with me, a hand target, yes, that is a behavior. That hand target behavior is so clear most of the time that it winds up down here in the clear domain, right? So it might be not quite a concept. It might be a couple of concepts together. Hand target is location and touching the nose, yes, right? So it's multiple things. As we move up, we have concrete down here, we have abstract up here. As we move up and get more abstract, this is where things and processes live. These are behaviors, crazy town behaviors, maybe behavior chains, and forms, right? Like the Fly Chi forms, the Disc Kwon forms, any systematic or process-driven training sessions that we have. All of this stuff on this side, all of this is nowhere. It's up here, right? It's up here in our head. And reality is up in our head, right? It's kind of strange, but you'll have to deal with it. It actually makes sense. This side is also ordered, right? As we move over here, the complex domain is an unordered domain. This side of the map is disordered, this side is order. This side of the map is concrete and simple. As we go up, it gets more abstract and more complicated, right? Over here in the complex domain, that's where we're going to be talking about today. This is where everything happens, okay? Over here is reality. Over here is actuality. Reality is, my dog knows this skill. Actually, he only knows it at home, right? My dog knows this skill. Actually, he's like really distracted by rabbits and chaos ensues. The chaotic domain down here is probably best left alone. You don't want to be there for the most part. This area here is pretty good. Dipping into chaos, this swooping line, this green line here, it's called the liminal line, right? It swoops into chaos. Occasional swoops into chaos are really awesome. It's the innovation zone here, right? When we innovate, a lot of times a mistake is the innovation, right? Rarely do mistakes that happen way the hell down here give you innovation, though. It's usually too concretely crazy town when we get down there. In the center here, we have the aporetic domain. And the aporetic domain, it comes from the word aporia. It's a philosophical term that Plato and Aristotle, Socrates, used. Socrates, when he would ask all the questions, he would put his political and rhetorical, oratorical opponents couldn't answer. They were at a loss for words. And that was part of his strategy for getting them to think about things that were different. We can enter into the aporetic domain on purpose, where we do so with dismissal, right? I choose to go in there. Awesome, go do dog stuff. I'm going to come and talk to you guys, right? All the time I'm not dealing with my dogs, I'm in the aporetic domain. Dog is too, as far as our team goes. We can also get pushed into the aporetic domain, in which case we're in chaos or confusion, right? And it's not a good place to be. It's kind of like huddled up in a little, make it stop, right? When we freeze, that's an aporetic freeze or a aporia because we're frozen, right? A couple more things here. Down here in the clear domain with our concepts and facts, when we have to pull them out and use them, or when we're dealing with them, we sense what's happening. I'll make this a little bigger. We sense what's happening. We categorize what it is. Oh, this is a this thing. And then we respond. These things are clear, they're best practices, and they're facts, right? So we sense, then we categorize the fact because we know exactly what it is. Dog and handler, by the way. Dog and handler need to know these as discrete concepts, right? As we move up into the complicated, things get a little more, well, complicated, right? The things and processes have multiple moving parts. It might not be readily apparent to me or the dog what is going on. In that case, we're going to sense, oops, shit, they're the same. We're going to sense, analyze, and then respond, okay? So we sense what's going on, we analyze it. This is this situation, this whole big rigmarole, right? This is my response. Analysis might be consulting my trainer's notes, might be dismissing the dog and figuring out what's going on, going into the apparatic domain down here, right? It might be consulting an expert. It might be stepping off the field and let your interior coach, your internal coach, do the talking. The coach does not play on the field with you guys. Does not play on the field. He belongs on the sideline. That dude stays on this side of the field. He has no business, or she has no business over here. When we're over here playing, we are the player. The dog is the player. We can't be second guessing. No analysis over there. All right. Let's see, do I have everything I want there? All right. So in the complex domain is where we actualized. Reality over here only exists in my head. Actualized, where we actually play, complex domain. That's where we play, problem solve. And that's where we learn, okay? We know here, we learn over here. Huge mistake is trainers thinking, because I know, really, I know what's happening there, right? I know this form or this behavior chain, right? When we get over here and actually do it on the field, we think we know. You don't know, right? I start every time warp round with a flip, right? Or a rebound. And I do that because it's nearly 100% catch ratio, right? So really, in reality, up here where I'm thinking about it, and I know it, right? Everything's cool, it's over here, right? Soon as I play on the field, I don't know whether we're gonna catch it or not until we do it, right? So actually, we don't know what's going to happen. We can't know until afterward. So when we're in the complex domain, we probe first. Safe to fail probe. Here, let me try this. I've never done this before. Let me try this. Ooh, it's really windy. Let me try this. You don't start out with the apeshit crazy town trick that you can barely do, right? You try something safe to fail. In your routine, it's a very good idea. In a freestyle routine, it's a very good idea to put a couple things in the front of that routine that are safe to fail, right? If I miss that first flip, who cares? We'll catch the second and third one and we're off to the races, right? If I put my craziest trick at the very beginning to impress everyone and I miss it, where the hell do I go from there, right? So we want to probe first, a safe to fail probe. This is very important when learning. Everyone wants that list over here. There's a list. You do this, you do that, you do this, then you do that, and that's how you do the thing. The first time you do it, you don't know. You are likely to not do it correctly. It's a good idea to accept that and just offer a safe to fail probe. Well, how about I try this a little bit, right? Let me try this. Just try it, it's okay, right? Get a taste of it. Then we sense what the result of that was, right? And then after we sense, we respond by amplifying or continuing or dampening and trying something else. And that's how we act here in the complex domain. I've talked about this a few times. I take your dog, you give me your dog, I've watched you work. That's my first safe to fail probe. My second safe to fail probe, you give me the discs. He looks at them, right? Oh, he's interested. I move the discs. He follows them. He's really interested. Awesome. I start to walk away. He holds his stay. Oh, he's well behaved. Epi. Yes, we walk out. I move the discs. He responds, right? I pose. He freezes. Or I pose. He checks out. Okay, I got a problem, right? And then I play. So I've done 5, 7, 10 safe to fail probes before I start playing with your dog. Everybody thinks, because when I started playing, I was kicking ass right from the get-go, that I knew. I didn't know anything until I got out there. In that last safe to fail probe of setting that pose, I pose my Frisbee and the dog walks off. Well, I know I got to work extra hard here, right? And then I work extra hard and I rock it and I kick ass. All of that I did not know. In the complex domain, in an unordered domain, when it is actuality, not what we know, but what actually happens. Not what reality is, what we know in reality, but what actually happens. We can't know what's going to happen until something happens. It only has predictive effects after the fact. Oh, it was that thing that went wrong, right? After the fact. It was that thing that went wrong. That's where I need to put my emphasis, right? And it's a huge mistake to go out there and expect to do it right. And it's a huge mistake to go out there and be afraid to not do it right. You got to try before you decide whether or not you can do it. And try doesn't just mean one try. We have 3, 4, 5 reps. That would be a try, right? And then the final domain down here, chaos. When we're in chaos, we act first. Doesn't matter, do anything. Act, then we sense and we respond. And we run over here into the apparatic domain. Or we dismiss the dog into the apparatic domain. Or we run over here and do something that we don't know really what we're going to do, but we're pretty sure is going to work. It's a bad idea to come over here and do a simple, boring thing. It's also a bad idea to try and rely on something down here that's super concrete. We've already had chaos. If I bring my dog over here and do the sit, which I would consider a fact, right? Ass hitting the ground, look at me, hold your position, everybody's got it, right? It's a fact. If we're in chaos and I tell my dog to sit, what happens if the dog doesn't sit? What do I do? I'm fucked. I'm right back in chaos. Much better to come up here, throw a roller, do a bite, get a drop, do something. The very first thing we do is act, then we sense what happens, then we respond by getting the hell out of chaos. Make sense? Awesome. We have a acronym, BAD. Bite, attention, dismiss, or drop. Those 4 concepts or facts, maybe, depends on where you're at, are good way to get out of chaos and get up here into play and problem solving. We good on that? Again, we have reality here, in your head. I know it, right? I know it, therefore it's some sort of reality. Over here we have actuality. Actually, I don't know it so well. Actually, the rabbit is crazy and my dog can't do it with a rabbit, right? Disorder on the left. As we get more ordered, we move over to the right. Concrete, simple, straightforward, everybody knows it. To abstract, it's getting a little crazy, we might not know it. Cool, all right. So we are going to be talking about this domain where play and problem solving and learning actually happen. Doesn't happen over here. It's not going to happen the way you want it to. It's not going to happen the way you thought it in your head. Anytime it does, you should thank the Frisbee gods. You got lucky. All right. So we'll leave that up. I'm going to switch to creating safe to fail experiments. And actually, did you hear that? Reality says I'm going here. Actually, I'm going to pull this up. Right? Oh shit, hang on. File, history. Reopen all windows from last session. Boom, pow. Close this one. Nice, these scenes showed everything. Holy cow, YouTube. So what I have that's getting pulled up right now, I'm going to show it to you super quick. As soon as I figure out where the hell I am on my computer, is Shabanya. Oh, great. Come on. Right? So we're up here in this domain up here. This map that I'm going to show you is just a prettier map. This map lives up here. Okay? This map that I'm going to show you, this stuff that we're going to talk about, strategy and tactics, is how we go about navigating the complex domain. Right? This is how we probe, sense, and respond. I'm trying to get there, but I got windows open all over the place. Give me a sec. So, creating safe to fail experiments in DiscDog. I'm just going to show you this map real quick, right? We'll walk through it with the map, and then I have a presentation, right? I actually have a presentation. So the first thing that we do, we probe, right? We probe, then we sense, we probe. We have tools that we use to probe. The tools are our concepts and facts. Dismissal, attention, respond, and move over from there. Then what we do is we play with the probe, right? We do some things with it. We play with that tool. We select a tool, we play with the tool. 2 stages of probing. The probe, 3 to 5 reps probably, right? If you just do it once, the dog doesn't know what happened. You do it once and the dog's like, I wasn't expecting that one. Wasn't expecting that one on you. And then you move on to something else and the dog's like, I wasn't expecting that one either. And you do that 3 or 4 times and everybody's confused. You're frustrated, the dog is lost. A probe is 3 to 5 reps. I offer this I wait for attention, or I set up attention, it doesn't work. I hang out a sec, I set up, I try again. Maybe the 3rd time he does it. Now we're going. Do I like that or not? So we probe, then we sense, right? Keep in mind that probe is safe to fail. We don't know if it's going to work. We sense. We play, prepare, and perceive. These things are like the background stuff that needs to happen so that we can sense what happens, right? What's actually happening. You have to be moving and loading. That's what forms are for, you know, get that automatic. So boom, I make the throw, I load, I'm ready. I throw my cookie, I grab another cookie, right? You need to have this stuff taken care of so that you can do this sensing. Is this working? Do I understand this? Is it useful, right? Can it be changed or refined? And this is like process. We kind of do this while it's happening. We get a sense of it while it's happening, dismiss the dog. Now, do I like that? Or while the dog is catching the disc and running around, do I like that? Do I want to do something else? I don't know, right? So we have play, perceive, prepare, perceive. We have to have that shit cold, or it takes away from our ability to sense. We need to do the sensation stuff as it's happening, through, during, pauses within the game maybe, or moments of aporia, or maybe I dismiss a dog real quick, get myself together, right? Now, here's what we're talking about today. Our response. Our response is strategy and tactics, okay? How are we doing it is tactics. What are we doing here is strategy. This should be done like beforehand. You know, you get here, you might want to dismiss a dog and choose a tactic. Or you choose a tactic or strategy beforehand. I'm going to work this using compare and contrast. I'm going to do this with a prompt switch. Then we walk out, we try what we were going to do, safe to fail. Does it work? Yes. Does it work? Yes. Okay, let me employ the strategy or tactic. Did it work? No. Okay, let's try something else. 3 reps. Did it work? Yes. Let's employ the strategy and tactic. Oh, that's not a fit. Okay, go do dog stuff. Let's get my shit together and revisit this. Okay? And that's how we navigate. That's how we navigate this domain where play actually happens. Now keep in mind, anytime you do this well, that's what you do. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. I'm telling you that's what you're doing. If it works and you're doing good when you go out and play, that sequence of events has happened. Anytime you go out there and you get your ass handed to you right away, you screwed up one of those sequences of events. Or you didn't bother, or you thought you were over here in the complicated domain. You treated it as such. I'm going to do this thing. You know how many times I've done that? I do it all the time on the stream here. Watch this. Ah, shit, that isn't happening. I would like to mention, while I'm here and we're talking about this, on the stream, you'll see it a lot. I have a lot of split attention, right? I have a lot of split attention. I'm talking to you, and I'm working the dogs. I'm working Cupcake, and Epi and King need to be worked, right? I'm working King, and Cupcake is running around, right? I've split attention. It's not how I work, right? It's not how I work. It's not how I should be working. That split focus is real trouble. You'll also notice that on the stream, it's kind of shitty. My training is kind of shitty, right? And then I kind of turn you guys off and I do the training, right? Or I start doing something and my initial probe didn't work. And then I have to figure something out. I do that with split attention, talking to you guys and trying to work the dogs. It doesn't work so well. I don't really care most of the time. It's not a big deal. It's, you know, nothing bad is happening. And then I get it together and it works, right? And it's when I employ probe, sense, respond that I get it together and it works. You guys following me? All right, let's do this presentation. Let's do this presentation. I hear you, Sage Paw. And you guys should pop off and chat. Please do. I'm doing a kind of a blank dissertation here. I appreciate Sage Paw's commentary here. It's super fun. It's nice to have that interchange. One of the reasons I like to do the live stream, even if nobody's here, even if it's just Sage Paw and Byron, is because I'm talking to somebody. That's how I think, that's how I learn, that's important to me. Shooting a video, right? Really hard for me to do an instructional video without anything. When I shoot videos, you'll notice I'm always working a dog. There's always a dog there. Very rarely am I talking on my own, right? And there's a reason for that. I like to talk to my dogs. Right, Epi? Totally, Ron. Totally. So, I'm going to present this right here. Are you ready for this? I'll leave that there. Okay. So, we've gone through this. I'm going to go through it in depth. All right? So, creating safe to fail experiments in DiscDogs. Stop it, Epi. That will do. We have probe, sense, respond. What is a safe to fail probe? Come on, dude. Oh, I guess I got to go down. Okay, so we have the tools that are available to us. These tools, the tools we use for creating safe to fail experiments in DiscDog and all dog training are essentially the skills we should have from the clear domain. Those concepts and facts, right? Remember that facts are a little bigger scale than concepts. A sit is a fact. Orientation to the handler, ass on the ground, hang out there a while. Those are the concepts, okay? That sit is not just one thing. It's a bunch of things. We can break it down further if we get super crazy about it, right? So it's also possible to grab some stuff from the complicated domain, some of the behaviors and behavior chains to use, but you need to be careful with that. And you need to know that the complicated skills are built out of a bunch of little concepts, right? And sometimes it might be a good idea to use those little concepts rather than the big skill. Antonis will probably be joining us today. And Antonis keeps wanting to use a big concept, or I'm sorry, a big behavior chain, a form, to come over here and work in the complex domain, to actually do the work. And he's biting off more than he can chew. He's setting up a situation where he's going to be in trouble because he's got to attend to this big, long behavior chain or this form that he's working on while he's trying to learn something new or while he's trying to figure out what's happening. Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty important. Throwing out these skills or concepts from the clear, complicated domain allows us to do something that we're comfortable and experienced with. Dog, handler, and team, okay? All of us need to be on the same page. We meet the dog where the dog is at, right? When we go out and actually work, you know what? How can I do this? When we go out and actually work, this will get a little weird here for a sec, guys. But I think it'll be better. When we go out and actually work, right, we have to be careful that we don't bite off more than we can chew and that we don't think we're doing something that we're not, right? There we go. Ah, that's nice. But that is right square in the middle. Let me move that. All right. Dog, handler, and team. We meet the dog where they're at. Dog needs to know this skill as well. If neither of us know it, well, this is one safe to fail probe. Here we go. Let's see what happens, right? We're going to be careful using those tools. So we tap into our experience for the initiation of a safe to fail experiment, which allows us to dip our toes into the water. Come on, Ron. Which allows us to dip our toes in the water and think on our feet. Allows us to dip our toes into the unknown and get our feet under us before things get crazy. And we need to think on our feet, right? We want to have things working. Georgios a while back set up, he had built this rebound in his head, right? Off the back, rebound off the back, right? He built it up in his head. He'd done the foundation for it, right? He was going to do it. The very first thing he did when he walked out onto the field, he didn't even warm up. I mean, he warmed up like, you know, blah, 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 move the dog around a little bit. They had a long walk to get there, right? Move the dog this way, move the dog that way. Okay, Epi, let's do this impossible trick you've never done before. You do not want to do that, guys. That's not going to be successful. The dog doesn't like it, you're not ready, right? You want to do something that's safe to fail, that you don't have your heart in or your head and your focus, goal-oriented focus on. Ease into it. Pick a tool that's safe to fail, that applies towards the, yeah, everyone's done that, Sagepa. Pick one that applies to it. Warm up the critical concept. Warm up the weak behavior in the behavior chain. Get that hot for the dog. Use that as your safe to fail entry. Get it going. Get the game actually going. Get some play going, right? Bang. Then pull out the big move. So, the tools that we have available: dismissal. Attention starts with dismissal. And in order for the dog to engage or give attention, the dog must not be giving attention or attending elsewhere. For the dog to offer attention or to give attention, yes, he must first be looking somewhere else, right? For the dog to engage with me, cupcake, yes. She must first, yes, oh my gosh, she's amazing. Go do dog stuff. She must first be disengaged. Attention starts with dismissal, right? If you need a moment, dismiss the dog. Chill out. Get your shit together. Capture attention. You dismiss the dog on your terms, and if you have a history, leave it. If you have a history of good dismissal work, it's a great way. You dismiss the dog, you go chill for a minute, right? You enter the apparatic domain. Remember apparatic, it's based on the word aporia, which means you're at a loss or an impasse. Going here on your terms via dismissal allows you to simply disengage and observe the situation. Do your warm-up, dismiss the dog. Chill out a sec, get your shit together. Am I ready for this? Am I ready for the back rebound? Am I ready for my unicorn trick? I don't think so. Well, what are we going to do? That's what you want to do before you stand up. Most of the time in class, I tell you, okay, this is what we're going to do, Anu. We're going to start doing this, and you stand up and start walking over there. I haven't given you the rest of the instruction, and by the time you're out here in the instruction, right, the dog is already pegged on you. I've been standing here. The dog's frustrated. The dog walks off. Now we're screwed, right? Take your time in the apparatic domain. You don't need to be out there right now. You don't need to be ready before you're ready. Standing out there, you're icing, you're the kicker, and you're like, hang on. Coach, call a timeout. I need to be iced, right? You're setting yourself up to get iced or to get uncomfortable. Also, there's a dog that we have to worry about. Right? If I go out there and I'm not prepared, right? And I'm standing there trying to figure out what's happening, my dog is going to check out. All of you guys who have dogs that check out all the time, you're doing this. Fact. You're doing both things that I've suggested, or you're doing one of them, almost assuredly. And if you don't think you are, you should check it through your dog's lens, right? Because I bet your dog thinks so. All right. Going here on your terms via dismissal allows you to simply disengage and observe the situation. It allows the handler to work from reading the dog rather than running the dog. It's important. You go out there, you stand around, the dog checks out. Oh, he doesn't want to play. Well, if you were paying attention, you would have noticed that he was standing in front of you wanting to play the whole time. You were up here in your head, over on this side of the field, while actually the play is happening over here and the dog was totally ready. But you were nowhere to be found. You were dilly-dallying in the reality of your own like perfect little ideas in your head, right? We're over here. When we're here, we're with the dog. Shit is happening. If we don't want shit to happen, we dismiss the dog and go there. And now my dog has no expectation of interacting with me. I can think here. Dog can walk around, free to do whatever he wants, except bite a child or run in the street. He gives eye contact. Dismissal also serves as a reset for the entire process and for engagement and initiation of this session or skill. This can be kind of like resetting a video game. It can be done for the same purpose, right? Let me make sure I got that. Sweet. So we go over here. Once we dismiss, we have a tension happening. I come over here. Oh, shit, I don't know what I want to do. Go to dog stuff, Epi. So I come in here. I figure out what I want to do. When I'm ready to go, I wait. Yes, good man. Dog gives me attention. We go out and work. And I would have, here, let's try that again. Go do dog stuff, Epi. Right? So he'll disengage. He'll stick around for a second. He'll look around. Right? And I can look at him and let him know that that eye contact isn't going to work. Here, I'll throw a cookie over here. Hopefully he stays up here. All right? So he's going to look out there. And then when he looks, yes. Oh my gosh. Epic. Let's go. Epic. Yes. Good man. Up, up. Easy, dude. Up, up. Yes. You got to be careful. I got to put something probably in the bottom of that ball. Epi's going to kill himself. That was terrible. So Epi's eye contact, right? Epi's eye contact made the work happen. I dismissed him. He was standing around doing nothing, right? I got ready. My shit was together. I just wait for the dog. I don't call him. I wait for him. He looks in. Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's go do the thing, right? Now his eye contact made me act. That is engagement, guys. That's engagement, right? So we dismiss the dog in order to capture and recapture attention. The dismissal is a tool that we can use to, as a safe to fail probe, I can dismiss the dog and figure out what I want to do. I can dismiss the dog and wait for, if I know he's going to walk away, I can dismiss him. Knowing that he's going to come running in, I need a dog running in, right? So I can dismiss it's safe to fail. He's likely to go out there. He gives attention, now I got him running in, right? And we're off to the races. And we started from a success. Great safe to fail probe. A tool for probing, dismissal. Attention starts with dismissal. Attention starts all skills as well. You and I can't work together if we don't have each other's attention. Attention has both a practical and a technical definition. Practically, attention is focus on the handler by the dog and vice versa. The handler needs to give attention to the dog. This practical expression of attention is a two-way street, not a street. Cupcake, up, up. I need a co-host. Up, up. Dude. Cupcake. Yeah, you can do it. I'll take attention. Yes, up, up. Yes, good girl. Wow, that was great. Right? My safe to fail probe, I tried it. I was in the fucking right domain, right? I tried it, it didn't work. I got my ass handed to me. I tried again. Yes, up, up. And then I took a safe to fail probe. Yes, right? I took that safe to fail probe and I rolled it right into her jumping up on the pedestal, right? Yeah, that's great, but that's not, you should just stay up there. Yeah, why don't you can go do dog stuff, right? I'm going to point this down a little bit. Need to be able to see what's going on here. So I just literally did that right here, right? I took her attention, safe to fail probe, I rewarded with action. That's a tactic, right? Also a strategy. Practically, attention focus, two-way street. Technically, attention is eye contact between dog and handler. This can be done in many ways, but for the purpose of operating in the complex domain, the attention should be offered by the dog. You shouldn't be calling for it, okay? So we can use criteria, any criteria. This would be a concept as well, but it might be a criteria of that concept, right? I might take a piece of the behavior or the first inkling of the object discrimination, the look at the object that I want the dog. Yes, right? I can probe there. I can mark that. And that probe, I probe with criteria. Any criteria or behavior may be used as a probe just to see what happens. It's cool, don't sweat it. Ideally, you don't lead with a criteria or behavior that doesn't work against your goal, if you have one. And you probably should be careful about goals in the complex domain, right? They should be very, very big abstract goals, and then you should do a bunch of little tiny mini goals on the way to get there. A bunch of these little tool sets, right? But the search for the right criteria to probe with gets easier and easier as you gain experience and learn what the things you and your dog know and are capable of doing and how they work. The selection of criteria that breaks the ice, gets the ball rolling, is the difference between minutes and months. Literally, minutes and months. You do this well, the behaviors pile up quickly. The engagement crystallizes and starts to just jam, right? The more the dog handler and team traffic in these criteria, the more competent they become in solving problems with them. There's a remember something. It's probably not that important. We can probe with reward placement, right? I want Cupcake on the mat. I don't think she's going to get on the mat. I take eye contact. Yes, oh my gosh, I reward her. Go on the mat. Yes, she's on the mat. Right? Now we're cooking. Off. Awesome. I can wait here. Where's she going? Yes. Right? Safe to fail probe with reward placement. Where you put the cookies matters. The dog puts her face there. Where you put the cookies sets up the next approach and reinforces position. Cupcake off. I want her to come in from that side over there. I throw the cookie over there. She's going to run that way to the mat. You'll see her. She'll come across. Boom. Right? Off. I want her to go the other way. I throw the cookie over here. Right? And safe to fail. I want to try 3 or 4 of them. Adjust my position. She'll get there. Right? Probing with reward placement is a truly safe to fail probe. All it'll take to solve is a few more cookies. Like if you make a mistake, you just need a couple more cookies. You can try a different reward placement, right? Everything's great. It's just cookies, man. At the very worst, you got to see how your dog responded to that reward placement. Reward placement is a good go-to probe because you can easily match it to the target behavior or the task at hand. Like I did with the mat there, right? I grabbed her and I put her right on the mat with my reward placement. Wasn't even a safe to fail probe. Keep in mind, I could have planned on doing it here, over here, right? I planned on doing that. I plan on that all the time. But in this situation, it just came to me and we were here. And it worked. Don't be afraid to toss cookies. Dog puts her face where the cookie happens, right? Toss a cookie, you set up the next approach. We can probe with a marker. This is a really interesting one. We're working on this in class. Don't miss today's class, Byron. Watch today's class. It's critical. It's critical. So what we're marking and how you're delivering that marker can and do have a great effect, on interaction, energy level, drive, and behavior. Selection of micro criteria, for lack of better word, and precision marking is a very safe to fail probe that can deliver great results in understanding, right? How you mark, when you mark, what you mark. It's easy. Wait for something, mark it, get the game going. Once the dog is moving, then utilize the skills that you have available to you. Hopefully, your tools are nice and tight and you know how they work. I'm sorry, the sense things that you have, we'll get to those in a moment. And you know, your mechanics are already taken care of. Now the mechanics are muscle memory. We're watching the dog run around. We're checking it out. That's working, that's not working. I'm gonna do this. And we're off to the races, playing, right? Being silent is always an option, right? That while cookie for duration, super important. Also not marking something. When I don't mark something for a moment, the dog winds up in a state of aporia. What do? What's happening, Ron? They look at you. All right. We can probe with the marker. We can probe with rate of reinforcement. I'm going to stop reading all these. We can use a high rate of reinforcement. By the way, these are going to recycle, okay? These are going to show themselves in the tactics as well. A high rate of reinforcement, energy, keeps the dog in one place, can move the dog around very easily. A low rate of reinforcement can bore the dog, slow the dog down, reduce arousal, reduce drive. Low rate of reinforcement can also increase arousal. Be careful with that, right? Rate of reinforcement is inextricably linked to reward placement and criteria selection. They're like a triad. We can probe with pressure. Cupcake. Cupcake, yes. Wow, you have a double dog name. Are you kidding? Whoa. So here, I'm going to lean over her. Lean over her. I was expecting a sit. I can pull with pressure and get that sit, right? So I can probe, I can pull this way, yes. I can push this way, right? And everybody out here doing this shit with their cookies, right? Not probing with pressure, right? I can set up here and give a little thing to the mat, right? Probe with pressure. It's okay. It's okay, right? Yeah, I got a lot of shit going on here, Sage Paw. Hopefully it's not overkill. We're running people out. It's all right. Hopefully they'll come back. Pressure is a great safe to fail experiment, guys. I'm actually going to read this one because it is super important. Pressure is a fact, the end, right? Pressure is happening anytime a dog and handler are working together. Experimenting with pressure when you don't know what it's going to do or what's going to happen is a powerful experience that leads to understanding you literally could not comprehend, right? Is that right? Hang on, I think I have to read that differently. I think I screwed it up. Experimenting with pressure when you don't know what is going to happen is a powerful experience that leads to understanding you literally could not comprehend. It actually does make total sense. When you experiment with pressure like this, you learn things that you don't know, that you can't know. Everybody moving their dog around with a cookie like this, they need to do this. Soon as they start probing with pressure, stop trying to get the dog into position, but figure out how the pressure works, they literally learn the thing that they previously couldn't comprehend. Pressure is a concept. Pressure is a fact as in it exists. The end. It is an operant concept or an operative concept, regardless of whether you believe in it or not. Right? This is pre-phenomenology of play, sorry. Good call, Antonis. Usage of pressure, responses to pressure would be a fact, right? Down here in the facts and concepts thing. All right, so Pressure is a great safe to fail experiment. Shifting from a clockwise stance to a counterclock stance. Clockwise stance, watch her. To a counterclock stance, did you see her move? And from a come here, wait. From a counterclock stance to a clockwise stance, she'll move, right? Cupcake, turning my shoulder, she moves, right? Leaning over her, she lies down. You didn't see it, did you? Leaning over her, she lies down, right? Leaning back, she comes up. She's like, no, I lie down, Ron. I'm gonna pay for that default behavior there, by the way. I like to wait a little while longer. Actually, she's about the right age, about a year, before I put the down on them as a default behavior, because I'm gonna fight against that now in anything I do. It's great that she'll go and lay down on the mat, right? I love that, that's terrific. But when I wanna shape or do something with action, it's a pain in the ass. Cupcake, you're so talented. All right, what do we got? All of these things apply and release pressure. I apply pressure, I push the dog. I release pressure, I pull the dog. I push, I pull. See it? I push, I pull. It's like, I don't care, Ron. Right? She doesn't care. All right. If you know how to do this, applying and relieving pressure is a great safe to fail experiment. If you don't know how to do this, try some safe to fail experiments with it, sense it, and then respond accordingly. You'll learn how to apply pressure. Then you won't be trying to move your dog with a cookie anymore. Don't move your dog with a cookie, guys. Move the dog with your body. All right, here we go. Probe with position. Humans and dogs have standard positions, especially when working together. These positions are based on what you do, how you do it, and where the cookies happen. Okay? They're standard positions, but they get adjusted by how we act. The thing is, we're pretty standard in our positioning. We, dogs and humans, are creatures of habit, and we feel like we need to be in this position. Experimenting with position and choosing positions that resonate with the target behavior or the task at hand are a great safe to fail experiment. That's one of the tools that we want to use, right? We need the concept of position and the facts of heel, front, side, maybe change, right? Change position here, right? If the dog knows this, not as a scoot, by the way, Cupcake has this pretty weakly, not as a scoot, but actually as a position, get back, I can use it, right? That would be a fact. It is using position and some other things. Lives down here in the clear domain, right? I know, I heard you're coming to get a cock, aren't you? John's going to come up here from Alabama and get a cock from us. April's got a rooster that she hatched, and John's going to come up and he's going to come up, pick up a cock. Be good. My old boss, I worked at a party store, convenience store. If you're in Michigan, a convenience store is a party store. Pizza, beer and wine, liquor, etc. Or beer and wine wasn't a liquor store. Anyway, I moved away and I came back sometime after college, and I was hanging out with him, and he had gotten into pigeon racing. And dude, so funny, man. He was a dirty old Italian guy, super nice guy, but one of those kind of dirty old men, not in a bad way, just brash, right? And man, he loved talking about his cock. It was a freaking hoot, man. You talk about how big and how fast he was and how much better he was than all the other cocks it's so funny. Anyway, super funny. But yep, John's going to come up and get a male chicken, guys. I'm talking about a male chicken. Those of you guys with filthy minds. Your mind out of the gutter, everyone. Right? So funny. Yeah, great safe to fail experiment. If you're not doing it, you need to do it. That should be the first thing you do. You know, you'll see it with me all the time here now. You'll walk out, I walk out, I set up, I'm in the wrong position, right? I don't go, oh no, I'm in the wrong position. What am I ever gonna do, right? I move, turn my shoulder, I pull the dog there. When the dog starts moving with me, I block. The dog sits. We're ready to go, right? That's a safe to fail experiment. That's how we start working. We don't start with, we're doing the thing that's in my brain from over here that we've never done before. We come out, we probe, try something, it works, awesome. We get rolling, then we get set up, we get working, we get some success, then we do the thing. Super important. You can probe with any good or best practice. A good practice lives up here, best practices live down here. You can probe with anything or process or any fact or concept. Good and best practices are another way to look at that. I'm going to skip over this just because it's written from the past. So we have the tools, right? We select a tool. Then we play with that tool. We play with the probe, right? So you've chosen your patented safe to fail probe. Now what are you going to do with it? Make a game out of it. Play around with it, replicable fashion, and see what happens. Wrap up the game, dismiss the dog, and evaluate what went down. Boom, go to the apparatic domain. Chill out. How'd it go? Do I like that? Should we keep doing that? Should we try something else, right? Decide if you want to do it again, maybe make some adjustments, or change the game entirely. So we create the game. A game has rules, a game has structure. Wow, this is really going to come together after today's class. A game has structure. It's important to play, but you want to play within a structure. So today, Alicia recognized that Georgios and Hermes we were working in class. We were doing the Where's the Trigger game, right? Cupcake, cupcake, awesome. We have Where's the Trigger, right? Touch. I've told her that. Now she's constructing reality. She sees where everything is. Boom. Yes. Then my trigger actualizes reality, right? I say touch. She reads the situation. What's likely to happen here? Boom. Yes. Good girl, right? That's Where's the Trigger. While we're doing this, touch. Yes. Awesome. So the time here, the rhythm. Touch, 1001. Boom. Yes. Touch, 1001, 1002. Boom. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Touch. Boom. Yes. Awesome. Go to dog stuff. That's a game, that's play. Okay? It's a game and play because there was rhythm, unpredictable rhythm. Play is self-induced, self-induced, novel, consequent opportunity. When we have that, the dog is playing. And so Alicia saw Georgios just cracking with Hermes. And she could tell it was really happening. And when she did her session, when she set up the Where's the Trigger game, we were doing Where's the Trigger with bite and Where's the Trigger with give. And she was really struggling over here. All of her presence was over here. Oh, what's happening? I don't know. I got this, I got that. All this shit has to happen. I need to do it like this. All the reality up in her brain that has it's not real, right? It's what she knows and what's going to happen. And then she was standing over here like this, trying to be not part of it so that the dog could do the skills, right? This is super common. Most people do this. Most people do this. And so when I told her that she needs to play, right, she went out and she was like, all right, Odie. And she was doing all this stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, right? And it was playful, right? But it wasn't necessary. And that play, that game she tried to create was too much. I mentioned here, I dismiss you, go do dog stuff. I dismiss like this, right? I don't dismiss you, go do dog stuff and do this, right? Because if I do that all the time, if I offer that huge expression of it, that's what I need to do to communicate to you. What I want to do is go do dog stuff and then I kind of go about my business, right? I kind of just go about my business. I look over here and look at you. That's fine. I'm off limits. I continue about my business. Me looking over at you lets you know everything's okay, right? But I'm still off limits. You give me eye contact. Yes, let's go to work, right? So she was doing this huge expression of play, right? What she knows to be play within the disc context and whatnot, right? And it was too much. I mean, Odie took it, right? But she was out of position, and then she couldn't deliver the proper criteria and process that we had laid out as our strategy, right? And anyway, it was super interesting. Game play is self-induced, consequent, novel opportunity. It has a rhythm. It has a rhythm of thought, a rhythm of action, a rhythm of pauses, right? A rhythm of success and achievement, right? It's not of cookies. That's not a game. That's a machine. That's a Skinner box. It's a Skinner box, right? That's what the bird does to make the pellet come out. It's not a game, right? So a game can be repeated in similar fashion. It's always mechanically the same. It's kind of old. The process is similar and the same. We can generate statistics from a game because it has a structure. Without a structure, we're just doing stuff, right? So within the touch game, where's the trigger I did with Cupcake? We could metric how long it took for her to respond. We could measure her speed on each of the operations. Like, because we're doing the same thing over and over again, we can use it as a framework to understand what happened, right? If we're just doing a bunch of crazy shit, we can't recall or can't orient ourselves to the actualized behaviors. So the structure of the game of training and understanding of the good or best practice, you select the fact, concept, or behavior, thing in process over here, right? Or that can serve as a guide. That's the stuff you know how to do. That's the stuff you need to generalize towards more, bigger, and better things. You want to learn more about the things you know, those things you already know how to do, so you can use them to do more and better things, right? So we build a game around the things that we know how to do. You get on. Get the criteria firing, get the game going. Keep it moving, pace it appropriately for the target behavior or task at hand, and hit that criteria. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Get hot. You want to get things cracking. Success, success, success. Cookie, cookie, cookie. Bite, bite, bite. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. While we want that rapid fire enforcement, we also need a challenge. Remember the game. Games have rules. I can be kicking ass and loving the game even though it has moments of downtime. Heck, that downtime just adds to the drama. It's a mistake to think that getting something hot is just about getting cookies on it. Hot is about desire as well. Once you and your dog are really digging the game, that's when you're hot. Then we get off. Super important. This is perhaps the hardest skill in dog training and handling. When to quit. Just one more time, right? Just one more. As soon as you say that, tell the just one more. Go do dog stuff. Like that should be it should be just one more dash. Go do dog stuff. That should be a dismissal cue. You don't want to quit on success either. You want to quit on high. Quitting on high means the dog handler and team are really digging it, right? If we wait for success, dog handler team might not dig it so much. Yes, good job, go do dog stuff. After the 10th miss in toss and fetch or after 10 failed attempts, not a win, right? Quitting on a near miss is also a powerful motivator. Quitting at the edge of success, like right before you know you're going to get it, is also quite motivating. Get on, get hot, get off, dismiss. After you dismiss the dog, evaluate what just happened. You're free from the responsibility of working the dog and have things fresh in your mind after the session. Take this moment to reflect upon what happened, how it happened, how it defied expectations. You'll be surprised at how fast you come up with some new idea or angle to take after You'll be surprised at how fast you come up with some new idea or angle to take after simply trying and experiencing some open-ended and honest work. But you got to get in here on your dismissals. So that's where we do that thought process. Right? All right. I think that is the end of playing with the probe. That's the end of the probe. All right. I'm going to stop there and we're going to hang out. I want to chat a little bit with Antonis. The ideas there have gotten a little bit clearer, haven't they? Right? That's all the stuff, that's the same stuff we talked about in class today. Like our class today, guys, was fucking cracking, man. It was awesome. All this stuff is super, super clear and elegant, right? It's pretty clear and elegant here, but you ain't seen nothing yet. It is fucking smashing. I'm super excited. Yeah, totally. And you can see where, Antonis, you should call in. We should have Sagepaw, you want to call in? Now is the time. I'm going to post the call-in thing and actually, no, I'm just going to do it from copy, paste. I need a button for that. I have one. Here's the link. You can call in, Sagepaw. I'll talk to Sagepaw for a few. And we've never really talked. We chat on Discord a little bit, and she's here on most of the live streams, but we've never talked, never met each other. And Antonis, if you want to call in, you're welcome to as well. We can, I don't know if I can handle multiple people at the same time. Yeah, I'm reading this now, and I'm like, God, that's crap, right? I was really excited about this. I wrote this stuff October of last year, maybe July of last year, sometime in that time frame. And no, it was while I was on the bus, so it was winter 2020, 2021, or 2022. Winter 2021 and 2022 is when I wrote it, winter, spring. Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, well, you can call in too, John. You can call in too, but you weren't in class. You got to fucking watch that class, John. Dude. Not even joking. Super, super excited. You have to watch class. All of our classes, most of them are taped. We tape them, and then they're replayed in the class group, right? So if you miss a class, you can watch what went down. And I don't always tell people to watch because, you know, sometimes class today was 3 hours, right? But today is a must-have. You guys will see some of the stuff from class in the live stream. A bunch of really great discussion and laying out what it is we're actually doing here, right? All right. Yep. That's cool. So, yeah, SagePaw, if you want to call in, call in. I got my interview thing on. I'll pull up my whatchamacallit chat. We'll probably have a couple of moments, guys, where see, here she is. Hey, what's up, SagePaw? How are you? Let me unmute you. We'll get you set up first, or I think you might be muted yourself. I don't know. Can you unmute? I wish I could share. Assign. I'm going to assign you guest number 1. So you're guest number 1 right now. Let me put you in the switcher. Camera switcher. Guest number 1, include in switcher. Boom. All right, so I have you in the switcher. Now, how do I get you? How do I talk? Are you muted? I think you might be muted. Can you hear the show? So we're chatting as well. And you know what? I'm just going to bring you in. So I'm bringing you in. I'm bringing her in right now. It's all right. I'll tell you what. You get the mic sorted. Here, get the mic sorted. And then I'll bring you on. But you're here. Super cool. I'm really excited. We have 3 cameras, right? We have the 3 cameras going, which is pretty awesome, right? And I'm going to bring in a guest. Super awesome. I'm able to output this to Zoom, so I'm using the live stream stuff in our class again, which is super awesome. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm able to do here that I'm not able to do in Zoom. So yeah, super excited about that. Take your time and don't get stressed out, SagePaw. It's okay. I'll cover for you. Epi will cover for you, won't you? Yeah. So let's see. Let's take a look at this again. Boom. And no circle of hope, right? I know. Xmind. I'll pull up the Kinefin thing. We'll share this. And we'll go back here. So we just covered. That right there. Right? We covered the probe. Safe to fail probe. Covered the tools, all of the tools at the tools at hand. Funny. And then we talked about how to probe, or how to play with the game, or to play with the probe. We create a game, we get on, we get hot, we get off, we dismiss. Then we evaluate, right? And we play with the tool, and that's what we're doing. And again, anytime we're successful with play with our dog, or successful in a training session, this thing here is accomplished, That isn't bad. That isn't bad. It's super generic too. Super useful. And I mean that in a good way, John. You know, like a brand, that's a good brand. It isn't even like a... So the next thing we're going to hit on sense. And I'll go ahead and jump into that. I just wanted to bring us up to speed as to where we were. So here we go. So we've gotten a sense of what happened, but what the fuck just happened, right? Like, I don't know. You want to dismiss a dog, get into the apparatic domain. While playing, things move fast and they can be really hard to make sense of. So what are we going to look for in making sense out of crazy stuff that happened in our session? Hey, 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 hey. There was a bunch of stuff there. There we go. How can we structure a session so that it will be easy to make sense of afterwards? How does one structure play, right? Okay, Sage Paw's bailing. Gonna try again. Oh no, sorry. That's a topic for tomorrow. That was John. I thought that was Sage Paw. I'm fucking old and can't see that far. So how do we structure play? After the session, while the dog is dismissed, there's a recap. You know, that's where your internal coach comes out and says, okay, Anu, this is what happened. You did this right, you did this wrong. We need to do this next time, right? That does not happen while you're on the field, right? The coach can say, you know, Anu, get your shit together, or Anu, throw right. That's what the coach can say. But there's no discussion with the coach. There's no coaching that happens from the sidelines while we're on the field. That internal coach needs to be quiet while we're playing, right? There's a recap where the coach gets to talk to the athlete about what the hell happened out there, what it meant, and what we're going to do the next time. This moment to pause and reflect is a key aspect of successful training in the complex domain, which is where all training takes place, right? So we play, prepare, perceive. You can't be aware if you're unprepared. If I have to think about how do I load my disc? Where do I hold my disc? How am I going to stand? Oh shit, I forgot to move. If I have to think about that, I can't pay attention to what's happening. I can't read the situation. I don't know. I'm at the mercy of the complex domain. I will never remember what happened. I won't be able to make sense of what my coach is telling me. It's batshit. Perhaps you know what I'm talking about, right? I've experienced it, by the way. It happens to me all the time. That's why I do my forms, right? I do my forms. I do them all the time here in class. I do them all the time when I'm out here hanging out. If you're not, being prepared enables you to rest easy and to devote your full attention to the task at hand. If you're not prepared, there'll always be a nagging feeling of dread. There will always be a distraction poised to rob you of your senses for a moment. Once you're prepared, then you can perceive without distractions. I make my throw, right? Make my throw. Ouse. No distraction. I got to see him do it, right? If I make my throw, ouse. Oh shit, what's happening here, right? Do it. Get up there, do it. I know you're trying. Do it. It's a tough one, isn't it? Yep. Yep, that's okay. Epi, go do dog stuff. We'll leave it. He needs to get up there to give the toy back. You can't read the dog if you're reading the shit in your hand and arguing with your internal coach about where your shoulders need to go. That shit needs to be automagic, right? Mine. Yes, go do dog stuff. We're done here. That stuff needs to be automagic. If it's not automagic, you can't sense what's happening out there, right? Relying on video is a bad idea too. Video should be confirmation of what you sense. It's not a stand-in for you being present. I think a lot of people do that. So once you're prepared, you can perceive without distractions. Watch the dog, read the dog, learn which direction the dog turns. Everybody in chat, what's your dog's strong direction? Tell me. Where do they turn after the catch? Watch how the dog moves. Count the strides to the catch if you're working leaping. Can't do that if you're not ready. Can't do that if you don't know what you're doing with your physical and disc skills. So Byron's dog turns clock, right? Be prepared so you can be present. You must be prepared if you are going to be present. You can't sense what's happening within the game if you're not prepared. You can't be present. Sorry, you can't sense what's happening in the game if you're not present. You can't be present if you're unprepared. Right? You want to move and load, right? You're not a spectator. Do your job, then move if you need to and load the disc. Load the toy, load the cookie. So this one gets me all the time. Epi, up, go, go, go. Keep going, right? So I pay Epi. And then let's say he isn't stable up here. Antonis, I'm talking to you, brother, right? I pay Epi. He isn't stable, I pay Meg. She isn't stable up here. I can't go into my cookie bag and pay her again. She's falling off. I go into my cookie bag, I get 5, 10 cookies. I pay Epi. I pay Epi. I pay Epi. Awesome, chill. Off, Cupcake. I throw the cookie. I get another one ready. Up? Yes, now I control her head. She can't help but go where I want. Off. Yes, I'm ready, right? I have a cookie. Up? Yes, I control her head. Off, go do dog stuff. You have to be ready, okay? Move and load. That's a necessity. If you're not moving and loading, you're not ready to do the thing, right? And you can't be present within the game. So moving and handling your toys or reinforcement is critical to successful work in the complex domain. I just showed it right there, right? Just showed it. And Antonis really struggled with this with Meg, and he needed to be really clean because Meg is new and she's flighty, right? So Anu turns right. Did you get your thing? Did you get your thing? You got your mic working? Let's get that mic working. Bring you in. Uh-oh. I just kicked her out, I think. I didn't mean to kick you out, Sage Pa. So, all right. All right, let's try her again. Hey, are you there? I'm going to assign you your guest number 1, remove from the green room. That's not it. I have you muted. Is it me or you, Sage Pa? You should have a chat below. Maybe there is a mute button that is on the browser there. When you call in from a browser. It's just a link. It's pretty sweet, actually. Hit me up if you get it. The chat down below is going to be faster. Fast. So, moving and handling your toys or reinforcement is critical to successful work in the complex domain. It's also critical to gaining and retaining the knowledge available from your work in the complex domain. If you're doing other shit, you can't remember what you did. And I'm telling you, the video is not enough. You can't learn anything truly. I got your camera. Yes. You can't learn anything truly new from video. You can only learn new things about things you already know. You need the recognition and the sensation that happens while you're doing it. That's what's going to make you look at the new thing on the video. That's what's going to make you look at the new thing on the video. And everything's good except for the video, or the, you know what? I'll bring you in. Maybe that's what it is. Hang on. I'm gonna throw you in. I'm adding you on the right. Are you ready?
You have to be on.
Boom. No, you are. Yeah. We're talking. Are you here?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. There you go. Me and Sage Paw. Yeah. Hang on. Let's do it. Sorry, I did not know that. Woo! So right now I have Sage Paw in. We'll do side by side. You'll have to adjust your camera a little. Right? How cool is that? Sage Paw, you're on the show.
Heck yeah, finally.
Right? Super cool.
Let's see. I got a yoga mat down over here, so if I drop them, it won't be too loud.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Sit down. Let's talk. Sit down. Let's talk. You're in an office. It's a little hard to jam in there. So here, I'll switch it up. So what's going on? Are you digging the stream?
Yeah, I've been doing the where's the trigger, and that really makes them work with me. It's really cool because I got some video of them doing that. But I don't think I have enough because they just, because usually I do video. I'm just trying to do all the cool tricks, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't doing where's the trigger. I was just like, yeah, here's this and that.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna do some new video this week of that.
Cool. And you know the thing with where's the trigger, you wind up with all of these, like the dog is in position, and then we do the thing. So when we do where's the trigger, Cupcake, wait, hoop. I tell her that, oops, I'm sorry. No, I'm going the wrong way. Come here, Cupcake, wait. I tell her hoop, right? And now she got that, and now she's ordering reality. Come here, hot stuff, wait, hoop, and then boom, right? And so when I tell her hoop, she is hoop, boom, putting together her little reality, right? And then hoop. See how much longer she's here? Boom, right? And the reason she stayed longer is because she trusts the reality. So if I have her here and I say hoop and I turn, she's going to hold her position now. Right? Because she knows what's coming. So when we give that, go to dog stuff, when we give that cue, then the trigger, it sets the dog up so they build their little reality. Let me pull it up from class. The cue orders reality for the dog, right? So I give the dog the cue, hoop, and the dog goes, okay, Ron's 18 inches away, 36 inches away. It looks like we're going to do a clockwise hoop. All right, I'm ready. And then the trigger actualizes that and takes it out of her brain and puts it in the real world, right? When we do that, the marker concretizes the reality. It makes it concrete. It makes it a fact. That was truth. I got that, right? And when we do it that way, the dog doesn't move when we move. You know what I mean? So like when I set up, Cupcake, wait, hoop, and I turn, she's holding her position for the hoop. See what I mean?
Yeah,
boom.
My dogs don't do
Oh,
that.
she's out
They're
of, she's out.
right in front of me.
Yeah, and they're going to move. Yeah, because your cue is not ordering reality for them. There's no time. You're giving the cue so they do, right? And by giving that time, they realize this abstract reality, right? And then they know how to do that. So when I'm out of position after the cue and I put myself in position, they're like, oh, fuck yeah, this is sweet. Or if I'm out of position and I give the cue, they then move to the position, not the front, right? This it's super cool, man. I'm super excited. I hope you stick with it. Listen, don't do a shit ton of it. Okay? Like, do enough of it to lay it down. Implement it in all of your activities. All of them that are capable of it. What we're looking for is 1 to 3 seconds. You know that time after your marker that you're allotted to give the dog their cookie? You mark yes, and you have about 3 seconds to pay the dog. You know about that?
Right. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. 1
Okay.
to 3 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Usually 1 to 3 is what I go with. I think it's 1 to 2. Anyway, we mark yes so we can pay later, right? And the same thing is happening in that where's the trigger. That same time frame. And for super swift dog train, are there any super swift dog trainers out there who know what reward prediction error is? Do you know what reward prediction error is, Amy? I'll tell you in a second if you don't. No sweat. It's a technical
I've heard
term.
it, but I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know.
Yeah. So if you know in the chat, drop a good man in there. So reward prediction error. I think something's going to happen. I got it. I know it's happening, and then it doesn't happen. And that's reward prediction error. It's got positive benefits and it's got negative benefits. It's about 1 to 3 seconds, about 2 to 3 seconds, depending on the critter, right? And that's from a long time ago. I can pull up the graphs, but if I'm wrong, sue me. Idea's there, though. Once I give the cue, I have about the same amount of time for a reward prediction error to take place. I can stretch that out, but I wanna be operating within that reward prediction error time frame, 1 to 3 seconds maybe. So when you do this, set up your tricks, give your cue, the dog will fly and do it like normal. Just don't do anything, wait for him. Look at him like, what the hell was that, dude? Excuse me, right? And then when they wait, then give them your desired trigger. Safe to fail probe, 3 reps minimum. First one, they'll be like, what the hell was that, lady? Second one, they'll maybe kind of do a little balk. Yeah. And the third one, fourth one, fifth one, they'll go. That's a safe, 3 to 5 reps is a safe to fail probe. And what'll happen as you do that, you take the game of where's the trigger, build some things, and then you apply them to your skills, and the dogs you'll tell them top, and they'll go, okay, Amy's 12 feet away, and it looks like we're doing a back vault. And I'm out of position. Hang on one moment. Let me put myself in position. Or you'll say top, and they'll see you, and they'll go, I don't know what top we're doing. Go Kiva, jamming a flash. What top are we doing, right? And then you'll adjust, and they'll go, oh, I think this is a back vault. And then you'll trigger. And they won't do all the moving shit. They will deal with and understand the abstract reality we have. So be careful with it. Try to apply it in that manner. Cool?
Yeah, I really dig it.
Awesome. So what else do you want to talk about? I did want to get that to you because I could talk directly to you. You know, and if you're digging that, I want you to get that, right? So, yeah. So anything you wanted to chat about?
I mostly just wanted to talk to you and see you in person, like a chat, right? You know, just to say hey to you because you're awesome.
Thank you. I really dig your spirit here. I wish Ace of Hogan were here too. Right? We had a similar live stream chat back when my shit was working, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's nice to meet you. Super nice to meet you.
You too. Awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yep. So can you tell me a little bit about your dogs? I've seen them, but I don't know their names. And
I got Lola. She's the oldest dog. She's
Uh-huh.
like 8.5. She's known frisbee since she was like a year old. My first frisbee dog, so she was easy to train.
Right?
And I got
Cool.
Daisy, which is a Chihuahua. She likes to eat chicken a lot, so.
Oh yeah?
But
Is she a chicken
yeah,
killer?
yeah, but like she is like 7.5 years old, and she's my baby, so I treat her like if she's gonna be the boss. She's gonna be the boss, you know.
Right? Of course.
And I got Phoenix, of course. She's my youngest one. She's like 4.5 years old. She's a cattle dog border collie mix,
Mm-hmm.
but she acts like she's a beagle or something. It's weird, or a cat. Like, but she knows frisbee, and she was my second frisbee dog, so she was harder to train. She was a lot
Right.
harder.
So John, Fern, and Sophie. Sophie is probably a little bit like that too.
Right.
She's got a lot of hunt in her. She's crazy. Yeah. Is that it? You got any more?
Um. Well, I was posting a new video tonight. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Cool.
It wasn't any like new footage. Like I did the edit stuff, but I did copyright free music for once, and it gets me more views. I don't
Yep.
even care about views. Like it's just views, but like I like the community and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah. Like you got to have views. I've been really happy to be sitting like very small right now. I'm not ready. I'm ready to go. So I'm looking to actually try and push. I don't I don't want like a I don't want a really big show. I don't want the hassle. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of shit that is like blaspheming dog training, you know.
Right.
And I don't want a bunch of people fighting with me. I'm happy to do a nice small show, but I do want I would like 50, 100 people kind of thing. But I don't want any giant thing. And I'm also thinking. I'm thinking sometime soon taking it off of YouTube. I'm not a fan of YouTube. They gaslight me on a regular basis, man, and none of my videos hit any of like you can do a real DiscDog training search, and none of my shit comes up, and it's just not cool, man. Like it irks me, and
I
so
saw
I'm
that too.
gonna.
I was like,
Wh-
"Where's the positive vibe at?"
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
and
my own
it's
video, and I'm like, "That's one. That one wasn't even that good. Like the one
right.
I did a few years ago, it wasn't really, honestly.
Yeah,
That was my first frisbee dog. I didn't know how I trained her to do that, really.
yeah, yeah. The uh, the I forgot what I was going to say. I would probably go to Vimeo and Rumble. Actually, I would go to that right wing cesspool Rumble, and I would do that because they don't. The free speech thing is a big deal breaker for me, man. Like it's super important that we're able to say things, and even if somebody doesn't like it, I'm sorry. It's important that we're able to say it.
Right.
I think the answer to speech is more speech, and I got kicked off of Twitter for telling some lady writing about hate speech on Twitter to go jump in a lake. I'm banned on Twitter right now for telling a lady to go jump in a lake. I'm banned for suicidal ideations and for self-harm. And I was arguing. I was attempting to argue like I would to a friggin' 5-year-old. I didn't swear, right? I didn't go jump in a lake. I said what I wanted to say, and then I finished with go jump in a lake. And they banned me for fucking hate speech, man.
Yeah,
Like that's not
I've heard
okay.
a lot of people getting banned for the dumbest things, and that's
Yeah.
one of the. It's dumb.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of everything staying up. So I don't know how much time I have left on YouTube,
Right.
but we're just getting to a point where the streams are getting some post-stream traction, stuff like that. I should probably stick around, but I got a problem with authority. I'm not good. I have no problem with legitimate authority, right? I have no problem with the legitimate authority, but with illegitimate authority, right? I have a very big problem. I don't suffer it at all. So, yeah, Anu, when you hear about all the hate speech on Twitter, just know that there's a tick in the column. I'm 7 days down, 7 days off the platform because I told some lady to go jump in a lake. You know.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter, Instagram. It's just YouTube.
Yep. I only started using Twitter because a couple philosophers that I follow and a couple of news people that I follow are there.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's not about speech or profanity, it's about control, right? Once you start studying philosophy, you realize the last 100 years has been straight up about control. Like, there is no dialogue anymore, it's power. And if they have the opportunity to ban you for saying something they don't like, they're going to do it because that's what speech is for. And it's kind of gross. But anyway, I don't want to hit on that stuff so much. But I did want to kind of make it's important that I could get some shit for even saying what I said. And it's just important that I'm sorry, that's the way it is. Right? Anyway, so what do you got planned, Sage Paw? Are you doing any contests or anything?
That's a big maybe.
Yeah? You're in maybe. Kentucky, right?
No, Arkansas.
Arkansas, that's right. Yeah. John is in, what Alabama are you at? Somewhere in Alabama. He's pretty close. But there's some stuff that's starting to happen in Alabama now, so you should probably give that a look.
I've been to Alabama before. It was nice. It'd be nice to go back and actually play there.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get out and play if you can. It would be good for you. Right?
Yeah.
So cool. And remember, the offer to come in at the vice director level. I'll give you all the classes you come in. You and Ace of Hogan. You guys are in on that if you want, if you can. Yep, you should. You should, because I know you're really into it, and you do a lot of work, and you put a lot of work into what you're doing. I would totally do that for you. I really appreciate your spirit on the stream and everything. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to take off. I'm gonna kick you out. Thank you so much for giving me a shout.
You kicking me out?
Yeah. Well, I want to get through this. I want to get through the presentation. I got a shit ton of it. We're not even to the strategy and tactics. It'd be a marathon stream, but we can do it again. Right? We can totally do it again. Sunday is probably the good day. Sunday is probably the good day. Right? Probably the best day for hanging out. Because we can bring in probably a bunch of people. I can bring in up to 4. So,
awesome.
Yeah. Super cool. And hopefully your name will stick here. I gave you a pause and a star.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Later.
So, it was a little more abrupt than I expected, but Sage Paw, thanks a bunch, man. Super awesome. Super awesome. For those of you guys and for you, Sage Paw, I won't kick you out like we were gonna resolve it. Anyway, super cool. No, you're all right. You're all right. It is totally cool. I'm sorry that it came off so sharp, but whatever. It was awesome. I'm stoked that you dropped in. I'm super, super happy. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I hope we get to do that a little more often. And I do have plans to interview some people. But again, my tech has been really crappy. So, all right, let's do this. We're back on to, switch here, show you where we're at. We're on here. Play, perceive, move, and load. And these are the things that have to be taken care of so that you are able to be present, so that you are able to read the dog, so you are able to sense what's happening, okay? If you don't have these skills that we're going to talk about here down, like automagic muscle memory, right? You're going to really struggle not only with your play, but with your work. Antonis can attest to this. We've been working on getting this shit together so that Antonis can be as strong a handler as he is a trainer. There's a big difference between training and handling. April's a far better trainer than I am, right? I think I'm a better handler than she is, right? We kind of maybe flip on that. And I wouldn't say she's a far better trainer, but I have to because she's my better half, right? But she's a better trainer than I am. I'm probably a better handler. And we switch in that I'm a better handler than she is and a weaker trainer, right? But it's pretty comparable. We're both very good at both, right? But handling and training are different. Handling is being ready. Handling is making the right decision. Handling is in the moment. The training is how we approach it, how we deliver the skills to the dogs. It's a little bit different. They work together, though. I'm going to actually go back and make sure I got everything in that. Yeah, if you're gonna have to do something you don't know how to do, you might as well learn something, right? You might even learn what you set out to, right? All right, so reading the dog. You need to be reading the dog. Reading the dog is critical when you don't know what's happening or you can't predict what will come in the near future. Watch the dog within the game you've created. Again, you have to have your cookies ready. You have to have knowledge of position. You have to have a bunch of really important things. All of the movement, position, intensity, emotional state while playing. Read the dog for clues and signals of the efficacy of your probe, right? So declare. There's this thing that we have. When Cupcake, I'm going to no reward marker and kind of give her some shit and disengage, right? And then I'll re-engage when she hits, right? Hopefully you can see her over there. I don't think you can. It's a bummer. That was good. That was good stuff. So, excuse me, right? And I'll disengage. And then I'll engage, right? So I want to be declared in the direction that I'm going to send her before I release her. I knew that was going to happen. So I reached in and grabbed my cookie bag. I was unprepared, and she got off the spot. So I'm going to declare in the direction that I want to go. Off. And now I've sent her in that direction. I can declare here to keep her off the spot. Yes, right? If I'm declared in the wrong way and I don't want her to go to the spot, oh, you're so smart. Good job. Off. Here, I'll do it even worse. If I'm declared in the wrong manner, she's going to take the spot, right? So we want to make sure that we're declared in the right direction, right? And here, let me do this while I got a chance. Keep this camera firing. Oh, wow, there's a ton of battery left. That's awesome. All right. All right, I'm coming. I'll be right there. Hopefully that doesn't fall. So that idea of declaring your position. Notice that I wasn't pulling her or anything. I was just kind of leaning in that direction. If you need to be in a position, get yourself in that position or prepared to move into that position in a timely fashion. This will help you read the dog and will help the dog read the handler. Everybody close their eyes. Closed. Open them. We're going this way, right? Everybody close your eyes. Open them. We're going that way, right? If I'm standing this way, close your eyes. Open them. The moment you start coming in, you address this position. That declaration, super important. Am I teleporting? Sweet. That's what I love. No teleporting. Was in the unicorn game. No teleporting. This will help you read the dog and will help the dog read the handler. Super, super important that the dog reads the handler. If you declare your intent positionally, the dog will read this. If you do it early and habitually, the dog will learn to trust that your position is telling the truth. And the dog will follow you, right? The dog will also look in earlier and earlier to get a peek at what's going to happen in the future, right? So this declaration, while we are playing, enables us to better sense what's happening and to perceive what's happening. It helps the dog better sense what's happening, which makes it easier for us to evaluate what's going on in our games. Weights are good. Handler facilitated movement. Position gets in the way and perfect position paralyzes. So Cupcake comes in. Cupcake, right? She's slightly out of position. I want to do work. I'm going to turn here and put her into position. See that? I'm going to facilitate that. She's slightly out of position, right? I will facilitate this position and will wind up straight in line. You don't want to be greedy about making your dog set up, right, perfectly until the dog can set up perfectly. And there's some kind of reason for it. Otherwise, we get involved in positioning our dog rather than what we're talking about. Triggers, good triggers make everything happen. Be a splitter, not a lumper, right? Make sure that you've got your behaviors and your criteria set up into small enough pieces, right? Now we are, where are we at here? Sweet. We need to be present, right? That is super important. All of that stuff, it enables us to be present. Here, let me do that again. So, so we sense, we do this play, prepare, perceive. These are the things that we need to have solid and have happen, right? And that allows us to play and be present. And if we can play and be present, it's easy for us to sense, and it's easy for the dog to sense us. Hey, Maggie, what's up? You're going to want to catch this and definitely catch today's class, although it might be a little too much for you. We've kind of dove into the philosophy thing. Hope Dill is doing good. So now we're in pause, process, and plan, right? These are the things that we're doing during dismissal or during the times that our dog is busy, right? Maggie, the last 20 minutes right before Sage Paw, and right after Sage Pa till now, really important for you. Actually, this whole show is rather important. It's long, though. I apologize for that. It is thorough. And it's all obsolete. It's not really obsolete in terms of, it's obsolete in terms of language. So anyway, pause, process, plan. These are the things we're doing in between our sessions or while the dog is doing things to prepare and to be ready to sense, right? Or to make sense, to plan with regard to what we're sensing, right? To know what we're going to do. We want to be a splitter, not a lumper, which means we use small criteria, a whole bunch of mini goals to facilitate flow and to facilitate understanding, not getting too abstract. We want to ask, is this working at that time? Right? Not when the dog sets up in front position and the coach is yelling in your ear, I don't think this is working. Probably best to have decided that when the dog is coming in or going out to get the disc, right? Or when we've dismissed the dog. Do I understand this? You make the throw and you're kind of lost. Do I really understand what's happening? Let me give it 1 or 2 more reps. The dog comes in, you take the flow, you're able to sense things. You're able to keep moving. Super important that we utilize the moments of the gaps in our play, whether it's natural gaps within play or dismissal in the operatic domain, to do these things. Is it useful? Is this going to help me? Right? Can it be changed or refined? You make the throw. I don't know if I like that. While the dog is doing it, you got some time. Right? If you're present, right? I know my dog's going to take a big loop after that. Okay, well, shit, is this working? Is it useful? Yeah, I think it's useful. It's kind of working. Can I change it or refine it? Then the dog turns in and starts coming in. You make a new safe to fail probe with what you know and what you've sensed. You revise and or repeat or respond, right? This happens during dismissal and during moments of like aporia, whether you can't take the question because the dog is doing something, or you're at an impasse as far as being able to act because something else is happening that's not your concern, right? Use those times to make sense of what you've sensed, right? And here we are, respond. Yep. This is Tactics Tuesday. Only 2 hours and 5 minutes into the stream after the meme rolls, right? We're finally getting to the point. Tactics and strategy, right? And this is going to be a little somewhat obsolete. I don't have where's a trigger in here. I don't have good illustrations of game, but the idea is important. We have done a safe to fail probe with one of our tools. Here, let me pull up the other thing real quick. Orient at least Maggie, make everyone else super bored. So here we have the complex domain we've probed. We've chosen a tool, any tool, preferably a tool that'll work, but if you don't know what you're doing, who really cares? We'll get something going. Or if you don't have a goal, if you're literally just playing, just get it moving. We have basic concepts and facts, dismissal attention, reward placement. We can mark different things or differently. We can use pressure. Then we're going to play with that probe. We're going to create a game with it, get on, get hot, get off, dismiss the dog. We can repeat that a few times. That's playing with the tool. Then we're going to sense. Keep in mind, some of this sensation stuff I mentioned can happen while we're doing the probe here. But let's say we dismiss the dog. We're going to sense what happens. That's the second thing. While we're playing, if we want to have a good sense of what is happening, or sense on the fly, let's say, or be able to process what we sensed, we have to have our automagic skills tuned in, the things from the forms, the stance shifting, the loading of the target, the loading of the cookie, declaring direction. Maggie, this one's important for you and Dill. You're always facing front when he's coming in. You're not prepared. You can't sense what's happening. You don't know which direction he's coming in. And when you do move, you're now impacting his alignment. It's damaging your ability to sense what's happening and to sense what you have done, what that has wrought. What I did this, but now he comes in and he's in front, he's in the wrong spot. Oh shit, what's happening? Let me get a cookie, now we're in trouble, right? We want all that shit to be bang, money. I throw the cookie. I move and load up another one. I read the dog. I declare towards the spot if I want the dog to go to the spot. I declare away from the spot if I don't want the dog to go to the spot. Shading and reinforcing the likelihood I'm going to get what I want, right? So that my sensations and the safe to fail probe have a chance of working. Weights are good. Weight, you can handle that. If we're in a bad position or a somewhat not perfect position, fix it yourself. Don't move the dog, move you, right? We want to utilize triggers. We want to understand triggers solidly. The dog understanding the trigger makes our ability to sense what's happening that much easier. We want to be a splitter, not a lumper. When we're dismissed, same things. We're going to ask the questions. If we've done a good job while we're playing, these questions are really easy to answer. If we've made mistakes, if we declared in the wrong direction, we don't have good intelligence here. Even though we're in a dismissed state, nothing's happening, we're going to have trouble, right? So we now move on to the response. And this is where strategy and tactics takes place, right? So, strategies. Strategies are, what are we doing here, right? What exactly are we doing here? Strategies should probably be laid out before you take the field, right? I'm just going to figure something out. That's a strategy, right? I'm going to go out there, safe to fail probe, see what's happening. That's a strategy. But that strategy is going to play out really quickly. You dismiss the dog. Now, while you're in the aphoretic state, hanging out, the dog is chill. Your inner coach is talking to you. I think this happened. Did it work? All the questions we asked in the sense. What's a good strategy to employ while I'm going to do this? What do I want to do? What are we doing here, right? I can employ avoidance. I can avoid the give. Alicia, avoid the give, right? Antonis, cue the drop at the right time, right? A strategy of avoidance says that I'm going to do everything I can to avoid this problem. So what are we doing here? I'm avoiding the give, right? What are we doing here? I'm going to interrupt anything bad that happens, right? My strategy is going to be to play as normal, and anytime something bad happens, I'm going to interrupt it and reorient the dog to the appropriate thing. I can employ a strategy of habitual success. I'm going to make this so hot and so awesome that we can't do anything but be awesome. We can't make any mistakes. That's one of my favorites, by the way. Errorless learning fits this, right? But that is one strategy. It's one strategy, and it has downfalls. Reinforcement. I'm going to do things that are going to make this more likely to happen in the future. Notice that doesn't mean we're going to do the behavior now. Super important. Super, super important to know that going out there. I'm going to do everything I can to reinforce this behavior. That's not saying I'm going to do this behavior over and over again. Habitual success is not I'm going to do the behavior over and over again.
I'm going to do something that leads to the behavior over and over again, right? Interruption does not mean I'm going to allow the dog to break and then interrupt. I'm going to play the game and I'm going to handle it with interruption. I'm not even going to pay any attention to it. And when it happens, I'm going to do that. Avoidance, I'm going to avoid that shit, period, right? As a strategy. Proofing. This is the strategy that you employ when you are going to do the thing that you want to do. This is a test. Have you ever, is it fair to test somebody who can't pass the test? It's not. It's not even fair. Shouldn't even do the test. Should spend the time reinforcing or avoiding it or doing something that's going to help, right? This is how everybody, for the most part, approaches their game. Everything is proofing. Everything has to have the behavior done right, done as it is over here. Oh, this is supposed to be secondary display. Over here in the complicated domain. Antonis, your idea of doing the form so that you can do the form better is a proofing idea. You're over here in the complicated saying, I'm doing the thing like this. If you're doing that, this proof or this behavior that you're doing it with had better be good enough to do that with. Otherwise, you're ruining your play and you're not solving problems, you're causing them, right? I can have a strategy. I'm just going to play. You roll a die, roll a 10-sided dice and select a tool. Let's play with that tool. We were doing this thing the other day. Let's play with that. Really awesome strategy. Very, very, it sets up down here. You'll dip into the chaos zone with that. It's okay. We're just playing. Who cares? It can get a little crazy. Rough and tumble play gets crazy, right? That idea of play is really where the innovation happens. Great strategy. We can prime the pump. I'm going to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Then I'm going to do the real thing. You guys have seen me do twist, twist, fakey twist. That's priming the pump. That's my primary strategy for teaching a fakey. I go twist, yes, no cookie, cupcake. Twist, yes, twist, yes. You ready? Fakey twist, boom. Yes, good girl. That's awesome. Go do dog stuff. That's priming the pump, right? I set up something that resembles it. I got it almost there, and then I let the water flow out of it. I primed the pump before the water came out, and then I pumped it so the water would come out, right? Priming the pump, great strategy. We can compare and contrast. So when people do, as a strategy, we can do this. Some of these are tactics as well, by the way. I want to do spin and twist. Twist, yes, good girl. Twist, yes, good girl. Twist, yes, good girl. That is fucking, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That's pretty funny. Go do dog stuff. So I dismiss the dog. Now I'm going to do spin. Spin, yes. Spin, yes. Awesome. Go do dog stuff. So that was no strategy at all. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do the other one. I think most people do twist, 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 and then they do spin, 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 spin. And they're two separate operations that way. If I have a silver pen, let's say I have a silver pen and I have a gold pen, right? If I flash it at you, you won't know which one's which. I can show you the gold one, the gold one, the gold one, the gold one, right? And then I show you the silver one and it kind of looks the same, right? If I show you the gold pen under this light, and then we walk in another room and I show you a silver pen under a different light, you might not be able to tell them apart, right? If you see a gold pen today and a silver pen tomorrow, you might not be able to tell them apart. Are you following me? Hopefully you are. If I want you to be able to tell the two things apart, I put the gold pen next to the silver pen on black under the same light. And all of a sudden you go, oh, this one's gold, that one's silver, wow. All of their similarities are immediately evident. All of their distinctions and differences are also immediately relevant. I can take the gold pen and put it here. I can take the silver pen and put it over there, and you can say, that's gold, that's silver. You might be able to do it under different lights. You'll walk into this room and that room, and you'll be like, yeah, that one's gold, that one's silver. It's like, duh, right? That happened because we put them together next to each other. When we do this, we compare, and then we contrast. This one is white. This one is yellow, right? This one seems to glow more. This one seems to be shining, right? And all of a sudden, the differences jump out. And we also see that they're super similar, right? So let me show you compare and contrast with Cupcake here. Go do dog stuff, right? So what I want to do with Cupcake, dude, go. By the way, you know what I'm going to do to fix that dopey ass fucking diving over the back thing? I'm going to compare and contrast. I'll start with spin. Spin. Boom. Yes. Twist. Boom. Yes. Spin. Yes. Good. Twist. Boom. Yes. Good. Epi-zip. Spin. Yes. Good. Twist. Boom. Yes. Good. Hang on. Twist. Boom. Yes. Spin. Yes. Awesome. Go do dog stuff. Now, compare and contrast. Got rid of that dopey ass diving around the back fucking spin and twist thing. Straight away. Straight away. Why? Because by putting them next to each other like the silver and gold pen, the differences became clear, but the similarities were there. And she took the similarity from the spin and attached it to the twist. Eureka. You know how long I would have had to fucking try it? Didn't even think about this, right? It would have taken me forever to figure that out. To do it in some other fashion, this was the perfect strategy for that, right? Another place where this happened, very, very big deal for me, with loot. I was doing a carom. It's a fakie where the dog jumps in and continues on the flank. So it's like a bank shot, right? And when I was doing it, he was getting the fakie, jump up, hit, and spin in one spot. No flank, but jump up. What I did with Cupcake, jump up and do the twist off of me. He was getting it confused with the carom. And so I'd call carom, and sometimes he'd twist, which was dangerous because it was big and long, right? And I would call fakie, and sometimes he would carom. And it was driving me friggin' bonkers, right? And so I set up and was doing Jam in a Flash, and I drew carom, fakie. And I was like, fuck, no way am I doing that. And then it hit me. I was like, oh my God. I went out and I did carom, yes, roller, fakie, yes, bite, carom, yes, roller, fakie, yes, bite. And he never mixed them up again. If I would have done 10 caroms, I had done 10 caroms and 10 fakies. And all they did was look like two pens, like a gold or like a shiny metal pen. He had no idea how to discriminate them. Compare and contrast, probably the most important of these strategies and the most potent, right? Freight training, similar to habitual success, but what we do is we make everything a cookie, right? The twist leads to the through, leads to the touch, leads to the scoot, leads to the fakie, leads to the bite. And I mark each of them and I reinforce with next, right? I'll try and demo it out here, and I'll embiggen myself here. I think I'm running everyone off. So, through, yes, twist, yes, hoop, yes, good girl, awesome, right? Go do dog stuff. So I can string things along like that, and if I put things that are already secondary reinforcers within the chain at strategic points or at most points or at some points, depending on the dog, what happens is everything becomes important and valuable. And it's awesome, and it's awesome, and it's awesome, and it's awesome. And awesome becomes what we do. It's a really nifty strategy. I really like to employ it quite a bit. All right. So those are strategies. Strategies are, what are we doing here? Right? What exactly are we doing here? I am going to prime the pump, or I'm going to compare and contrast in order to fix I'm going to compare and contrast spin and twist, right? Tactics. How are we going to do it? Right? How are we going to employ our strategy? A bunch of strategies are kind of tactics. The tactics are defined and they're not a good fit. But like avoidance, how am I going to avoid it? I'm going to avoid it by comparing and contrasting. Habitual success, how am I going to do it? Compare and contrast. Reinforcement, I'll compare and contrast, right? A bunch of them I can use. A bunch of the strategy and tactics overlap, and they also fit together. The point here, you want to separate, you want to know what it is you're doing, strategy, and you want to know how we're going to go about doing it, tactics. And you want to kind of separate them out if you have any trouble with setting up your session. Compare and contrast, example, non-example, similar, but that's also, I do a lot of example, non-example. I let the dog fail. Or I do the thing that we're supposed to do, and then I do the thing that we're not supposed to do. The thing that we're supposed to do pays. The thing that we're not supposed to do does not pay. Similar to compare and contrast, slightly different. I can free shape. I can free shape habitual success. I can take anything and start free shaping it and just make it successful. I'm not saying we can get a free shaping session hot really quick. This would be like reactivity, right? I have a reactive dog. I would like to ensure habitual success because holy shit, you know, that's an easy one and that's a necessary one. I want a good vibe from what's happening. So my strategy is habitual success. My tactic would be, I'm going to free shape just about anything the dog does that I like. Or, well, we'll get to it. Think you might get the idea. The prompt switch. I'm going to do habitual success. I'm going to utilize a prompt switch. My dog doesn't drop. A prompt switch will make him drop on cue-ish, right? I'm going to take the habitual success strategy and I'm going to make it happen with a prompt switch. I can prime the pump as a tactic. I can prime the pump for avoidance. I can prime the pump while interrupting, doing an interruption strategy. I can prime the pump like try and get the behavior happen. Interruption happens. I'm just going to break that off and prime the pump again, right? I can prime the pump for reinforcement. Priming the pump is reinforcement, right? I can prime the pump to proof it or to test it. Get it ready, get it ready, get it ready, get it ready. Let's do it, right? I can reinforce with action. That's one of my favorite ones. That fits really good with freight training. That is kind of the definition of freight training. Habitual success reinforced with action. I can back chain position. You can make up a bunch of different tactics. These are the things that I do. These are how we do them. How are we going to do it? How are we going to employ the avoidance strategy? How are we going to employ the interruption strategy? Right? Strategy and tactics are separate. It's important. There you go. Thank you. And now I'm done. 2.5 hours with a sage paw pleasant interruption. Not bad. Not bad. Is anybody still here? Maggie, are you still here? Antonis, anyone? Probably not. Running everybody off. I didn't do any Griff links. Follow us on Patreon.
Or do not. There is no try.
I didn't tweet that we were live. I just tweeted that we were live. We have merch. Right? Hey, Daniel. What's up? So, a little bit of a marathon session. I think it's cool stuff though, and the real takeaway is that, yay! So there's YouTube gaslighting me again. There's only one person here, only one, and anyway, I won't fucking do that. I won't bitch. Don't bitch. Nobody wants to hear it. So. I think the important thing, we have concepts and facts. The nose touching, right? That's a concept. A hand target is either a thing, a behavior, a thing, or it's a fact. It's a more abstract fact. Maggie, the concepts that we're talking about down here, they are mental concepts by the dog. Nose touch, foot touch, duration, off cue, pressure, position, right? The facts get outside of the dog somehow, either through a process, they abstract either through being multi-part, like a sit is an ass target in position, right? Either they are compound concepts or they get outside of the dog. A hand target, touch. Yes, good man. A hand target, go do dog stuff, is not a concept. The body touch or the nose touch, that's the concept. The hand target is outside of the dog. It requires actualization to take place. There's something else involved. So we have facts and concepts down there. Those are the things that we start playing with when we play. We don't play with the finished behavior when we play. If we don't know what it is we're doing, we don't want to probably start with the behavior and lock it down into an abstract, complicated thing. We want to start playing around with the concepts themselves or their basic facts, the sit behavior, the hand target, maybe the through, right? I could see situations where a flip is down here, right? We have behaviors and processes up here. And over here, I'm sorry, all of this over here only exists in your mind or the dog's mind, right? Anytime we do them, we're over here. Anytime we do them, we are probing, then sensing, then responding. Of course my dog knows sit. Actually, he only knows it in the studio. Of course my dog knows sit. Actually, he's got a rabbit chasing problem. Reality in our brain, it's real, we know it, we think it, right? Actuality, the real world. Okay? We don't want to drag this stuff over here whole cloth or whole hog. You don't want to pack that shit on your back. You want to reference this and then admit that you don't know what's going to actually happen, and start out with a safe to fail probe and get your bearings and build some success, some game, some juice that's going to allow you to be successful and to retain the learning. While we're here, there are 3 steps. Probe. We probe with our clear concepts or facts. Sometimes we probe with the complicated, but the complicated starts with a fact or a clear concept. So we're safe to fail probing starting already. We should just be ready for it not to go well, right? Safe to fail probe, we sense what happens. We need to be prepared. We need to have our automagic muscle memory shit. I have a cookie ready, right? I don't have my cookies on the fucking thing over there while I'm working Dill, right? If I need to get a cookie for Dill, I need to not have my cookies on the table over there. I need to have my cookies in my hand. If I'm throwing a disc to Dill, I give a bite to Dill. Dill takes it. I load up the second disc in that hand right away so that I'm prepared. If I do that reflexively, I can watch what Dill does with the drop. Dill doesn't even see it because I always do it, so he's not going to drop when I move it, right? We need to attend to those things mechanically, automagically, while we're playing, before we're playing, so that while we're playing, we're not distracted. No bandwidth is torn away doing crude mechanical shit. We can be present, watch what happens. Our interactions happen in the blink of an eye and so effortlessly that nobody even knows they've happened. The dog certainly doesn't. Then in our sensation process or in the sensing process, we need to evaluate. We do that in a state of aporia. When we are at an impasse, either through dismissal, nothing can happen, I'm off limits, or while the dog is somehow engaged. And as a handler, I've loaded my disc, I can't really do anything. Now I have the freedom to think, right? And then we want to have a response that is thoughtful. We plan that in the sense stage in the aporetic domain, preferably through dismissal. We plan, okay, I'm gonna avoid the give at all fucking costs. I'm gonna avoid that. How am I gonna avoid it? Well, let me do habitual success, or let me do a prompt switch. I'll avoid the give by doing a prompt switch. I'll avoid the give by doing a skill that we do really well. I'll avoid the give by doing a drop. Strategy, what are we doing here? I'm avoiding the give. Tactics, how am I doing it? I'm going to use the drop. And that's how we play, and that's how we train in the complex domain. And I'll tell you what, anytime you're successful within the complex domain, and you didn't experience stress and didn't stress out your dog, You did that. That's how the complex domain works, right? There you go. That's what I got for Tactics Tuesday official. We'll hang out for a while. I'd like to chat and kind of fuck around with my dogs. That presentation was big. That's actually part of, it isn't even part of the book anymore. It's part of the Play Plus book, right? That's the complex domain. That's this domain here of the Play Plus, which is now the phenomenology of play. Play Plus, phenomenology of play. It's a much better fucking project now. It's super cool. Most of that stuff is, none of that stuff is really changing, but the language is going to change, right? And a bunch of the stuff that I did over here on the map, I utilized with the new language and stuff from the, I'm doing a legit philosophy Dill, Maggie. Totally, it's a legit philosophy and it's badass. So the cue and trigger, right? We've been talking about that. Check this out. I got to get it right, so I'm going to pull up my notes. The cue, when we give the cue, it orders reality for the dog and handler. That's all it does. It says, we're going to do this. The dog goes, oh, we're doing that. The dog orders the abstract reality towards what they know, right? Okay, we're doing the through, all right? His legs aren't open. He's standing in that direction. He hasn't told me to move. Maybe I'll stand here for a second. But the dog sets up what's going to happen. The handler sets up what's going to happen. I give the cue, right? The dog is in the wrong position. I slide over a little bit. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? The cue orders reality, particularly for the dog. The trigger actualizes the reality. The trigger takes it out of the dog's brain and makes it happen, right? So the trigger concretizes the reality. Bang, there's the action. The cue orders it. The dog, there's a middle stage in there, by the way, where the dog constructs the abstract reality. The cue says, okay, something's happening. It's this. It doesn't look like that. He's this far away, right? Now, okay, something's happening. That's what the cue does. Then the dog looks at the situation. He's this far away. I know it's this. His legs are closed. All right, I'm ready. And then the trigger actualizes the reality. And it's amazing, dude. The dogs with the Where's the Trigger game are completely fucking doing that. So King, Maggie, did you see King go around on the through a bunch of times when I was working the through? Have you seen those live streams? When I'd give the through cue and King would go around? On Friday? Yeah, Philosophy Friday, I think. I stood with my legs open and I gave him a touch cue, and he had to reckon and reconcile. He had to reconcile the legs open with the touch cue. And I gave the touch cue just like I give the through cue. And he didn't even blink and went through, right? And the reason was that he constructed the reality first. And he saw it with my legs open, right? I do the legs closed and we open as the trigger, right? And that's kind of the only way we've done it. And he should have gotten that. But at the same time, I'm putting my hand down. So his abstraction of reality was split between my hand and legs opening at that moment. He had to make a split-second decision. When I give him the when I give him the touch cue with my legs open, he constructed that reality. And then when I put my hand down, he didn't go after the hand. He saw that where the hand was going. He didn't go after it right away. He saw where it was going and attached it to the through and just walked right through and pounded the fucking target, right? And then I had him do it while I was standing with my back to him. He'd never seen it. I told him touch, the legs were open. He didn't even really see the hand target until it was down between my legs, and he was bang on it. And they construct reality when we give them time to. And so it was super awesome. So that's a pretty big one. The cue orders an abstract reality, or tells the dog there's an abstract reality, and the time in between, the aporia in between, allows the dog to construct that reality. And then the trigger actualizes it. And the dog has to reconcile his abstraction of reality before the trigger with what happened and with whether or not it achieved. And dude, it's fucking awesome. Super cool. It's actually Alfred Whitehead's framework for decision making. Anyway, super, super, super excited about that. If you want, you probably should check out class. Oh, dude, you guys, what the chuck? What the chuck? Check out class from today. And if you're interested in the development of the philosophy and what's going on behind it, there's a new group on the website for class members that is the phenomenology of play, Play Plus, the phenomenology of play. And it is going to be rocking. It already is rocking. There's some cool stuff in there. So there we go. All right, what are we going to do, guys? King, you haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. Epi, let's go. Up. Cupcake. I know. You might even stay, but I'm going to throw frisbees to King. In and in. Good work. Good work. So I'm going to do, dude, come on, go. I might have to take Epi in. I'm going to do Where's the Trigger with King and Bite and, dude, Bite and Give. Oh, fuck. Fuck, I can't. Maybe I can. We'll see. So that mauling problem. Need to reevaluate the mauling problem. Probably best not to try and do it on camera, though. So what I kind of wanted to do, where's the trigger on the give? But he's got that mauling problem, and it's going to give me trouble. It's totally going to give me trouble. I might come up with something in the meantime. We'll see. So look at this. We'll put up that and this one. Bang. Yeah, buddy. How cool is that? New cameras, my equipment's working, Maggie. Pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about that. Okay, so as long as I stay in the middle, that'll work. Awesome. I'll use heavy plastic, I guess. Ooh, King. Dude, come on. Thank you. Don't. Chill, Epi, chill. All right, we'll turn on some music. Little ignorant mob, maybe. Oh, no, we'll turn on the P-Vibe jams. king, king. Ready? Oh, what happened? Zip. Yes, good man. Ouse. Yes. Yep, that's not going to work. God damn it. Ouse, yes. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Through. Dude. Through. So you see him go right away, right? Not okay. Through. Boom. Yes. Bang. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Pose. My pose is interrupting. Dude. Dude. Yes. Pose. It's interrupting. Twist. Yes. Hoop. Boom. Oh, what happened? Dude, dude, dude. Whoa, whoa. Dude, go do dog stuff. Nope, nope, nope. Go do dog stuff. All right. So actually, look up here. So I think I'm going to get, I'm going to be able to use where's the trigger in general, the game, to preempt or to increase the amount of time that he will resist the mauling thing, right? It's pretty boring here. There's not a lot of action. Historically, this is a place where I get my ass handed to me on the mauling. There's a reason why I throw a bunch of flips and shit and keep it moving. I have a strategy of avoidance with him on that skill, right? Unless I specifically want to work it. And then when I work it, I usually struggle with it because it's pretty rough problem. I do have it solved on the field. I give him a mean dude and I chill him and he'll stand there. But I don't want to do that. I want him to solve it. You ready? So where's the trigger? The trigger is the disc going horizontal. Yes. Oh, what happened? Yes. Ouse. Yes, pose. My pose. Whoa, dude. Good. Through. So he's constructed the reality. Boom. He's going to go through. Yes. He's earned the cookie. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Dude. Through. Boom. Yes. Boom. Yes. Good man. Ouse. Yes. Fucking A, dude. Whoa, 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 dude. Satisfied. Ouse. Ouse. Yes. Over. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Twist. Yes. Through. Yeah, you're awesome. Boom. Yes. Hoop. Good. Good. You ready? Boom. Yes. Yes. Ouse. Yes. Yes. Ah, good man. Whoa, dude. Dude, chill. Chill. Thank you. Chill. Woo, that was awesome. That was awesome. So I don't know how much of that you can... chill. The stability, go to dog stuff. The stability that he showed between those was fucking on point. Right? It was on point compared to what so what I've done to avoid, right? What I've done to avoid is to keep it moving. Okay? I'm gonna talk some crazy town shit here. What I've done is keep it moving, right? There it is. And so that keeping it moving avoids the problem, right? But it sets me up with some issues of him flying from point A to point B all the time. Bang, 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 bang. Wind up with trouble there. I got it solved with the chill thing, but I don't want to stop him from doing it. That's not good enough for me, right? He needs to stop it. I can't be responsible for that. I got other things that I have to do, you know what I mean? If I have to stop everything and pull out all the stops and make him stop, I can't do all the Frisbee things I want to do. I can't handle him the way that I want to handle him. So that session while I was working him is like the first time I saw his wheels turning while he was playing. And for him to have his wheels turning while he was playing has immediately, anytime I tried to get those wheels turning, he immediately would maul, right? And that's been my struggle. And again, I've solved it, but I don't want to solve it that way. I could tell him to chill anytime we're done, and I could keep it moving, and we would be playing Frisbee really well today. But I can't be burdened with that responsibility as a Frisbee dog handler. Other people are happy to do that. I'm not. And I might have been able to whack him real hard and stop him from doing it, but he's super soft as well. Excuse me. He's super soft as well. And I've already damaged his flip by doing a dog catch. I sprung a dog catch on him. Dude. Keep going. I sprung a dog catch on him. So I threw a flip and I dog caught him and he liked it. And then he stopped doing flips. Anytime I move, he freaks out. So I'm reluctant to correct him strongly. Anyway, doing that session, he was, for the first time, thinking about what was happening and enjoying that. Like, I don't know if you could see it. I could totally feel it. And that's the thing that in class, everyone who's doing this wears the trigger. They can feel what the dog is going through before they offer the trigger. That time in between, aporia, cooperative aporia is what I'm calling it. It's at an impasse. I've given the cue and the dog can't resolve it. So now the dog has to think about what's going to happen. And they lay out the whole thing. And the dogs like it. I was doing dumb shit here. Shit that should have elicited massive mauling. Nothing but mauling. And I escaped a bunch of it while he was thinking, which is when he mauls. I don't know if I'm getting that out there to you in the way that I want, but I'm trying. It's kind of a weird thing. I am super, super stoked about that. So I'm going to give him the cue. He's going to construct the reality, right? And I'm going to offer a couple things and bang. Yes, good man. Aus. Yes. through. Boom. Yes. Yes, good man. Aus. Yes. Through. Dude. Yes. Through. Shit. Through. Yes. Yes. Aus. Hoop. Boom. Uh-oh, what happened? Whoa, dude. Whoa. I got it. John, hopefully you're here. I'll take eye contact. Yes. Twist. Yes. Boom. Yes, good man. Aus. Yes. Through. Boom. Yes. Uh-oh. Aus. Yes. Yes. Aus. Yes. Through. Whoa, dude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Chill. Go do dog stuff. Dude. Dude. Chill. Ooh, I like it. I like it. So, did you guys notice that he was grabbing them and simply flipping them and leaving them after that, right? His goal, his whole reason for doing this is to taco them. He doesn't stop until he tacos, right? And I have, one of the things I try is, yeah, take the toy, who cares, buddy, right? Well, I did that and it didn't stop. I walked inside and shut the door, and 10 minutes later, it still hadn't stopped. So, pretty seriously loaded trouble there, right? And really, really nice to see him hit it and simply flip it. So when I said, John, I'm gonna I tried to mark the drop one time and offer the bite right away to get him going. And I had an accidental cupcake, okay, which is an unintentional consequence, right? I had an unintentional consequence that he has to pick it up in order to drop it. Dude, he has to pick it up in order to drop it. Like Cupcake had to jump on the pedestal in order to make something happen, right? And I worked a long time without noticing that, and I'm calling it an accidental cupcake, an unintentional consequence, or an unintended back chain, right? And so that unintended back chain is a problem. And I did it there. And I think I would have gotten away, I think I would have gotten much better. I would have avoided that little tizzy in the center if I didn't do that. So what I'm gonna do is when he picks it up and flips it, I'm gonna wait for eye contact. Fingers crossed, right? I'm gonna wait for eye contact. Eye contact is what's gonna make it happen. And we'll see. I might not be able to do it. It might sound better on paper than in reality. Through. I give the cue, he constructs the reality, boom, yes. Give the cue, he constructs the reality, there it is. Yes, aus. Yes. Yes, aus, yes. Through. Yes. Yes. Aus. Yes. My pose is hopefully going to interrupt that. There's that taco. Through. Boom. Yes. Twist. I'll wait for his eye contact. Yep, I think that is going to do it. Yes. Yes. Through. Yes. Yes. Screwing up my bite. Aus. That bite as. Dude. Yes. Aus. Yes. Chill. Go do dog stuff. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Oh well. I like a little bit of that. I like some of it, not so much. Good man, King. Go do dog stuff. King, a pup? Yes, chill. Epi, Epi. Good work, handsome. You ready? You ready? Oh, it looks like you are. Looks like you are. You ready? Scoot. Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Scoot. Wait. Stall. Yes, off. Through. Yes, wait. Hoop. Dude, aus. Yes, wait. Hoop. Yes. Twist. So you can see him going. Yes. Through. Yes. Aus. Yes. Mauka. Oops. Mauka. King. Yes. Through. Yes. Awesome. All right, Epi, go do dog stuff. King, get off. Go do dog stuff. All right. All right, I think I'm done. It's getting a little crazy. It's getting a little crazy. Don't want all the barking. I don't know what I'm doing. Epic. Oh, I can't reach it. Mine. Yes, awesome. Go to dog stuff. Wow. So, I don't know. Some stuff. All right, anybody got anything? I don't know what to think about that. I don't know what to think about that stuff. Yeah, and again, guys, I can yell at him, make him stop, right? But I can't be required to do that. There's fallout down the line in Frisbee with that. And it's I mean, right now I can deal with it. I can avoid it and keep it moving. But I can't do stuff like this. I can get in trouble in particular points at a contest. There's a bunch of fallout from it that I just don't want to take advantage. I don't want to take responsibility for that. Kind of excited by what went down with King. I think a bunch of it was really solid. But then it fell apart. And I don't know. So that was actually a game for both of them, right? And for King, it was a very, very lame game physically, right? It sucked physically. He just did a couple of bites and I had to go through and do all this dumb shit, right? But he was really into that game. And he was doing a pretty good job of not mauling until the last session or the ends of both of those last 2 sessions. And I could see the wheels turning. Yeah, well, you know, that's the idea. And it's not even that it's better. Hang on, I'm going to figure out how you phrase that. It's not that it's better if he discovers it for himself, right? That would be kind of the positive trainer angle on it, right? That's not where I'm going with it. I don't want to be responsible for it. It's not my job to stop him from doing that. If it becomes my job, he can make me work at any time, right? And he can extort the game out of me unless I stop him. And that puts me at a disadvantage. I have too many things I'm doing already in Frisbee. And for those of you guys who don't play Frisbee at a pretty high level, that might sound silly. It isn't. There's fallout to that. And it literally busts my groove. That stuff that we were talking about in sensing. I can't be present with what I need to do to run the game, to handle the dog, to make the cues at the right time, to pay attention to things well enough to be able to solve the problems that crop up, right? I can't do that if I have to make my dog do shit. I just can't, right? I could allow the game to happen or allow the dog to drive the game and do very well. You know, win contests, like, not a problem. You know, it's not a, yeah, it is. And me too, Byron, me too. It initially started there with me, right? It initially started at that place with me, that he would just learn it better if he does it himself, right? And then it became, and it's not just him. I've dealt with the mauling problem a few times. And this one, though, it's really bad. I've worked with this problem, guys, with hundreds of dogs. You know, this problem, bad. Not like that, though. So it used to be, it would be better for him like that. And then it was, this will work, right? And in King's problem, it started out, I would like to solve this with what I do, right? And so April had him, and she started working him in 2020, and she couldn't deal with it. She just couldn't deal with it. It was too much. It wasn't even a thing. And I worked with him, and I was like, fuck this, dude, right? And we both made the exception, Byron, right? We both made the exception, and we were trying to handle it. We were trying to make it happen, all the shit I talk about in class that we're not supposed to do. We were trying to do it and breaking the rules and fucking with him and, you know, doing everything we could to, nothing. He was not worked on disc for a significant portion of time because of that. And when Clubhouse came out, I was doing the sound of DiscDog, right? And Clubhouse is audible only, it's only audio. And I was doing Clubhouse sessions where I would play Frisbee and I would narrate what was happening and you could hear the training. It was fucking really cool, man, because you can hear what's happening. And you can hear when it's going well, you can hear when it's not going well. And then I would post the video like a day or two later. And then you could watch what went down. And it was a tremendous frickin' exercise. Bunch of dog training geeks dug it, you know? And, you know, I'd have 15, 20 people in listening to me play Frisbee. And I took King out, and I was on the hook to do it right. And I couldn't fudge it with the video. Like, I couldn't throw my shoulder and make it happen and, you know, get away with showing the Frisbee. I was actually talking the training and speaking the training, right? And I did it right, like I would at camp with your dog. And that fucker was, I got an immediate 5 seconds of no mauling. And from that point on, I wanted to finish it, right? When Robin was here, when we had camp in the spring of 2022, Robin was talking, we were talking about fixing it. And we both agreed. She was kind of saying, you should just fucking fix that. And we both agreed that it could be fixed pretty easy. But I was really close. And I gave it another month or two after Robin. After that, maybe, no, probably 6 months. Late last fall, I put the chill cue on him up in here for pedestal, for his overexuberance on pedestal. Just a pressure-driven chill cue. Replace on the pedestal, lean on him with a little pressure until he settled, and then get off. He'd jump off, and I'd put him back up there. A couple of those, and he was like, okay, got it, I'll chill. Shit ton of value up there, no reason for him not to. And I put it on him out in the field, and it works. I get done with 5, 7 tricks. I'm gonna pick up discs. King, chill. And he stands there, and he lets me pick up the discs. I gotta mean dude him maybe once or twice a session. Dude, chill, right? And that's where we've been. And I've been pretty happy with that, right? Because, dude, he's a fucking badass, man. He is a badass. But the Play Plus stuff that we're working, I think there's some applications there. So now I'm kind of back to noodling with it. But again, my real reason for not doing it at this point in time is that I just don't want the responsibility, right? I don't want the responsibility. It busts my groove. I think I'm going to try one more with him. Epi, go get up there. Get up there, handsome. Yeah, the guy. Look at him. It's still there, dude. Here's that negative reinforcement. I hope Epi will live. Shit's like an ear pinch, man. It's terrible. All right, King-a-ling. You ready? Dude. That's not it. Go. King. Wait. Ready? Yes, good man. Yes, good man. Yes, good man. What? Yes. Ouse, Mackay, catch. Yes, way to take it out, buddy. Ouse. Yes. Through. Whoa, dude. Through. Boom. Yes. Bang. Ah, you know what I missed? Yes, good man. Ouse. Yes. Through. That's the one that's going to work. Ouse. Yes. Through. Cupcake. Yes. Ouse. Yes. through. Good. Aus. Through. Yes. Twist. Yes. Hoop. Hoop. Boom. Try one more time. I was thinking, aus. Yes. Through. Yes. Yes, good man. Aus. Yes. Hoop. Yes, Mackay. Yes, catch. Yes, good man. Awesome. Can I have that? Mine. Boom. Mine. Boom. Chill. All right, so that last one, I thought that the missed opportunity would work. I think I'm wrong on that. I'm still bullish on this. Byron, I think we'll have something with this. I think. But I don't know. I don't know how to do it yet. I don't know what I want to do or how I want to do it. But on the last rep, I noticed that when I hope so too. I hope so too. The thoughtful application of like constructing the abstract reality after the cue, that aporia moment. I think it's really important for those dogs that are stressed by that. Like it empowers them outside of that thing. And but when I was working that, I got the feeling that the missed opportunity was going to be a motivator, right? And I do think it will be like outside where I have something that's not another fucking through in this dumbass game that we're playing. The game is fun in the rhythm of it. So play is a rhythm. And that rhythm is fun. He likes to, when is it going to happen? He likes that, right? But the physical activity of the game is not enough with Frisbees, I think. I think I'll probably have a better chance of getting that out there where he's able to run and he's able to do the things, right? Rather than feeling kind of cramped in here. And I wanted to mention that about the where's the trigger and that idea of playing with simple ideas, simple concepts, or simple facts. A bunch of those were facts. They were compound concepts, right? Or very simple behaviors. When you play games with the concepts, if there's no rhythm or novelty within how we're doing those simple concepts, it just gets to be rote behavior, right? And within the Play Plus thing that we're doing, right? This game, right? The idea of setting up the game, those simple concepts, those clear concepts, and Well, that would be why I didn't get. That's funny. That would be why I didn't get the alarm before class today. Set it for 12 a.m., not 12 p.m. So anyway, I think it's just a little too rote with the Frisbees, even if we have that good rhythm. And hopefully that makes sense. It's probably been online too long. Yeah, right? Still live. I showed my ass. Not afraid to show my ass. Not afraid to try things. I do wish that didn't go as poorly as it did. But while it went poorly and the mauling happened, there were some really... He did some things that he doesn't do in a good way, right? He did some things that he doesn't do, and he did like get off on that game, right? He liked that game. So, yeah, kind of am not, and it's a mixed bag of how I feel about that. Some of the things I really liked. What's up? Did you got a toe or something that's not okay? You okay? I know. Yeah. Right? Is it 6 hours? Yeah, well, I did 3 hours earlier too, yeah. All right, so anybody got anything? I'll do a quick question, Q&A if anybody has anything. And then I'll play us out. I tried to do meme rolls. I have got, does anybody have Midjourney? Does anybody have the AI art Midjourney? Anybody a member of that? If you are, hook up with me. You guys can check out my AI art. I'm quite accomplished. I'm a prompt specialist. A bunch of the images from previous like engines that they had got ran with the new engine. And dude, I have so many amazing fucking images, man. Yeah, so you can't actually view my gallery. You have to have a current membership to view the galleries and stuff. Dude, thousands of really awesome pictures, man. Super cool. All the stuff that was almost good enough to use, but wasn't because there were like 2 extra arms or 15 fingers, right? The extra arms are gone and the fingers are gone. So everything's much more, close to art. So I got a shit ton of stuff. I just couldn't download it for some reason. The app wasn't working. So I couldn't get those images. But next, what are we? Today's Wednesday. Throwing Thursday, we should have a new meme roll. Yeah, Great American, I think. I can check with April. Look up MMA flooring, mixed martial arts flooring. It's really nice, dude. Shit is really, really nice. You saw that when King took out the camera, eh? Uh-oh, oops, I can't reach it. Thank you. You are very helpful, Epi. Chill. Good. King, you toast? Are you toast, King-a-ling? You are. It was good. Yeah, it was super interesting with King, though, man. I have... that was different. There was a different critter in his head. Epi, leave it. King, you're going to get your ass kicked, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. And Epi, one of these days, King is going to fight back, and you are not going to do so well, buddy. It is not going to go. He's a beast, dude. King is a freaking monster. Like, gentle giant, man. So, yeah, pretty happy with some of that with King. I just ran some where's the trigger with King, and had some success with not mauling, and had some not success without mauling. Yeah, I'm just super interested in it. I need to fuck around with it when I'm not on camera. Not really. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I do the same thing when I'm on camera as not on camera. I just don't. I don't want to do too much where he's doing bad things. So, like, you look at all of our training, or my training in the videos. It's all a continuous cut. I go out and work 5 minutes, you see 5 minutes, right? And most of the time, I'm not working to do the thing. You know what I mean? I'm working to figure it out, or I'm working to tell you guys how the thing works. And I do a lot of the really bad trainer thing that really good trainers tell you not to do, which is to show, that I tell people not to do, which is to show how it goes wrong and where it goes wrong and shit like that. But I would rather look good with that, and I don't want people to be like to judge. You can walk in on any one of these streams and say that's wrong, and that's wrong, right? It's super easy. You can do it with any dog training, right? The difference is where do you find a half-hour show with 10 dogs live? And I know there are not 10 dogs here. I don't have 10 dogs anymore. I used to have 6. But our Positive Vibe Season 2, Positive Vibe S2E1, look that one up. You don't see that, and you don't see 3 hours of people hanging out with their dogs with shit going on. You know, needs to be kind of looked at in that sense, and I'm already pushing it on that, really pushing it. I should be doing a better job of only showing you guys the perfect shit, but that does nobody any good. Right? Except for my clout, right? And I don't really care about my clout. I got plenty of clout. I do good work. I help people. I'm good with that. You know? I'd rather show you guys what I'm thinking and what's happening. So, blah, blah, blah. All right. True Confessions with Ron Watson in the dojo. Yep, I set them both for AM. That's funny. That is funny. All right, so I'm going to play us out with meme roll number 4. Yeah, I'm not interested in that angle. There's too much stress in that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fight with my dogs. I don't want to make them do shit. I don't want to try and show off, you know? Like I could be in here whipping frisbees around, looking like complete badass, doing flips and tricks with King, and avoiding the mauling entirely. You know, but that isn't how it works. It doesn't work like that. And for me, that's not fun. You know what I mean? I don't have fun by looking cool. I have fun by feeling cool with my dogs, right? And you know. Anyway, all right. Badass meme roll number 4. Here we go, and we'll have new ones soon. New ones coming soon. Thanks to patrons. Patrons will be coming up too. I tried to get on and do some editing today, but none of the images came through, so no sense in putting the time in there. I mowed the lawn instead. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks a bunch for hanging out, all of you guys who did. Maggie, if you're still here, definitely catch the class from today and try and get in that phenomenology of play. It's pretty challenging to behaviorism. Not a big fan of behaviorism right now, right? It locked out all the dogs. Dogs generalize fine. Behaviorism doesn't generalize, doesn't allow it. And I'm trying to change that, and I think I got the sauce for it. So we'll be working that out. It's being worked out on the site right now with a few of our clients in class, and more to come. All right, Badass Meme Roll number 4. See you soon. Camera number 3. Yep, 2 p.m., 2 p.m. Jeppo, come on. Good work, handsome. Good job. Chill. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. That time change is a bitch, eh? Polka polka.